What up, Shelton?
What up, bro?
Chilling. Thought I heard the doorbell. Maybe that was me.
What up, Shelton?
Oh, no.
What up, bro?
Chilling. Thought I heard the doorbell.
Oh.
This game just started. Look like I turned it on and it was just on.
Oh, yeah. No, it just started. Yep. Earl Thomas went to the Texans?
You did?
I don't know. Somebody said reaction about Earl Thomas to the Texans.
There he is. Lamar Jackson already. The guy that was picked after Baker Mayfield.
And Sammy.
Mm-hmm. The guy they wanted to change positions.
Wow.
That's not even a question. Dallas should have been signed that dude, man. That's all Dallas really needs is some guidance in the secondary. That's where he needs to be.
Well, they getting shredded, so they need some help. They need anything. They need everything.
And they just need some leadership in the secondary. Like Diggs, people say Diggs got torched and all that, but I saw some plays. He made a few plays. Yeah, he got his butt kicked. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't even close. But I just saw where I saw potential in him in that game. I was glass half full.
With who?
Dallas Diggs.
Oh.
Like he could have gave up on that hustle play. Jackson gonna have 100 yards in the first half.
Oh no, you got to catch that, man. I don't know what to make of Brady. I mean, he's 2-1, but everybody else just suck right now. So, but I still think he's still trying to figure out that whole offense and what Arians is trying to do.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's gonna take a minute because he didn't have training camp, and he normally works hard with his guys. They had a little bit of an off season, but not a Brady-esque off season, and they didn't have preseason games, so it's to be determined on Brady. But I think he'll be fine. You couldn't ask for more than 2-1.
Yeah, I don't know where Julian where B at. FIFO may still be at work.
This is just a special for the game, just to go along with the game. So you won't have a regular cast, maybe.
NFC South suck. Carson Wentz. There we go. It's finally done. Carson Wentz is terrible.
Hey, don't do that. The Panthers won yesterday. That was a great game by Carolina. It was my Panthers yesterday.
Oh.
Huh?
Hey, who the hell was that? Oh, Mark Ingram. I don't know. I thought he left.
No, Mark Ingram's still there. They got the three-headed monster. They got Gus Edwards, Mark Ingram, and Dobbins, J.K. Dobbins.
That's who I want to see more of.
J.K.?
Yeah, J.K.
Mm-hmm. Next year. Hey, Asia, how you doing? Yeah, Josh Allen is killing it right now. What up, Gene? I hate it because I played against Josh Allen yesterday in fantasy football, and he had a monster day.
Man, I was a year early on Josh Allen. I drafted him last year on my fantasy team.
Mm-hmm.
He was okay, but he wasn't what he is now through the first 3 games of the season. I don't know if he's gonna be able to keep this up, but I knew at some point with his ability to run and throw that he'll be able to rack up fantasy points. But he's taking it to another level this year.
He is, man. He looked like a world beater. And like I said, yesterday I was rooting against him all day, but that guy's developed nicely. He playing ball. I did not think Josh Allen would play it like this.
And you know the thing about it is that you look at Josh Allen and then you look at Sammy Darnold, and you can see improvement, and you don't see anything with Sam.
Mm-mm. And part of that is the fact that he's playing with the Jets, but some of that, man, you got to have some of that in you, man. I just believe that some of these players, you know, we can make excuses all day about the program and the situation that they're in. No, it might not be the ideal situation, and some of it is coaching, but damn it, some of it is just on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you just got to man up, and like I said, and I argue this even when we talk about Joe Burrow all the time, is Joe Burrow needs to win at least 2 games. 2 to 3 games should be just on his back. And if you can't do that, to me, you're not an elite quarterback. You're not ever going to be an elite quarterback if you can't make that difference. Baltimore Ravens were a decent team before Lamar got in there, but when he got in there, he went on a tear, and he played ball. He made a difference. He did.
Yeah.
And you know, then they changed the offense to fit him, but initially it was just him making plays. And now he's doing the things that a quarterback should do, and the offense is tailored to him. Same thing when Cam went to Carolina. As a Carolina fan, when Cam got there, he made plays. He just made plays. He just did him. And same thing can be said about a few of these quarterbacks. Russell, same thing. When Russell went to Seattle, it was supposed to be, what was Flynn? Matt Flynn? It was supposed to be his job.
Mm-hmm.
But he made plays. And they could not sit this man down. That man played ball in the preseason and took that man's job. And he made a difference in that team. Because I had somebody saying that Russell was a system quarterback. Like, man, come on, man. That's that dude. That's him. Sometimes it's just the man.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Bryant says Sam makes a lot of mistakes that a player at this point in his career shouldn't. And you know, I'm gonna kind of go for that because I haven't watched the Jets play, but I mean, I haven't seen results on the field so far early this season, especially when you went 6-2 down the stretch. So you would think that you're gonna take a step forward this year, having been in his system for a whole year and coming out healthy, and he hasn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something. And like I said, sometimes we can blame it on the line, we can blame it on the coach, but part of that is the player as well. Sometimes you have to be the difference. And I say that
visiting the Texans. No, I just saw the head. It said Earl Thomas is visiting the Texans. Okay.
Okay, yeah. But I know I talk about Cam a lot because I'm a Panthers fan, but the year that we went 15-1, that was not a 15-1 team.
Mm-mm.
That was a person who got everybody, including everybody in the city, everybody on the squad. To same thing when Vic was here, man. I'm telling you, the same excitement in Atlanta when Mike Vick was here had people playing above the level of where they were and had this team rolling, this Falcons team. Same thing Cam did. When he got there, he played above the level. And that's what this guy does too. Pat Mahomes does the same thing. These guys are. I'm not saying he doesn't have talent around him, because he does, but he elevates that talent to the next level and deserves a lot of credit. Same thing with Lamar. Same thing with him. They doing the same thing. They just elevating the talent.
Who you got winning this game tonight?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm the only one out of our crew, remember, that I picked the Ravens. Y'all all picked KC.
Damn, I picked KC.
Yeah, you did.
I think I picked the Ravens.
Nah, I just looked on Reddit and it said that all y'all picked. You picked Kansas City.
Damn. Okay.
I was the only one.
So maybe because I remember saying that somebody's going to win this matchup and then lose the matchup in the playoffs.
Yeah,
So
that's what you said.
Let's see, Patrick Mahomes. This is the first game I watched all year.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What, first football game?
Yep.
Man, I watched every game. I done flipped it through every game.
Oh, is that Clyde? Oh, that's Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Yeah, that 15-1 Panthers defense was nasty, but we had Ted Ginn starting that wide receiver, man. When you got Ted Ginn as a starting wideout, and that was the year that Kevin Benjamin got hurt. Who's the other wideout that year? It was a no-name player on the other side, too. We had like two no-name wide receivers. And I forgot who the running back was, too. It was Cam, is what it was. And Cam carried.
Yeah, I'm gonna save Skip Bayless for tomorrow. I get on him tomorrow. As far as Victor Oladipo, I don't know, man. Well, there's a lot of basketball news. Doc being out, Victor saying he's leaving, which may be because of Nate McMillan leaving, which I hope that's the case, honestly.
Philly Brown, you're right. Yeah, I hope it is too. I hope that too. It's crazy how, once again, you see these black coaches on a short leash.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Doc did get some time, I just still think it's kind of premature to let him go. I think they should have ran it back.
Yeah, Doc should have had one more year. I think, they're probably trying to pull a Toronto and try to luck up on a coach that'll win it next year with the same team. Like they did with when they sent Casey packing. Because Casey was the East Coast version of Doc Rivers, if you want to be honest.
Yes, he was. Sam Casey. Brian Hinckley, I don't think that they should move on from Breeze quite yet. I think that Drew Brees does look old, but to pull the trigger on him and go to Winston right now, for all he's done for that city and that team, even though as a person who believes that it should show on the field, I still think it's hard to do that. It's hard to take a legend out. I think the city will be up in arms if you take him out at this point. I think you just got to ride him out because he's brought too much to the table to get rid of him now.
And he doesn't have Michael Thomas, so
right.
Yeah, you gotta temper your expectations. That's crazy. 8 touchdowns and 68% completion percentage against the blitz.
This guy's incredible, man. Marty McFly, Nate, and Oladipo Nate is already gone.
I like Lamar got to throw more, man. I want to see throws like that. I want to see the offense. I want to see them design an offense with plays like that in there for him instead of these little dink and dunk play. Oh, come on, man. Give me I need that for my fantasy team.
Who is that?
Clyde?
Julian Serene. I think that will be dope if Doc was the Rockets head coach.
Hell no. They will have to remake that team because I don't think they have the players that Doc needs to be successful.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I would want them to remake the team and get rid of some of the, get rid of that small ball philosophy.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit, he gonna run it in. Taking away my that's too what I mean, come on, man. What kind of defense is that? This might be a blowout. I'm gonna overreact. It's insane. Look, are those fake fans?
I think it is fake fans in there tonight.
That's crazy.
You missed the extra point.
It's crazy how there are no fans there. There are a few people here and spread out. Social distancing, but the stadium is so empty.
What was the question that was on here? I was trying to see. Yep, this is the Ken and Shelton show tonight. Doc's best fit is New Orleans. I can see that. I can see that too.
FIFO, Nick, and B, they may be through. I know Nick is busy up until like 9 something. I don't know where B is at.
Yeah, that would be nice though. Doc is in New Orleans. I was trying to think. I know I was the only one. I think you picked the Falcons to beat the Bears too. Then you can.
Because of Trubisky.
All right, we're gonna discuss that tomorrow. But I thought that was a quick hook, but it was necessary. It was a long time coming.
I just I just didn't expect the Falcons to go 1-3. I mean 0-3. That makes absolutely no sense. But what happened to them against that game? Like Quinn should have been fired ASAP.
Yeah. Yeah, it does not make sense that he still has a job.
And I won't say I was a supporter of him. I was just kind of reading the tea leaves. And I knew he would be back, but that was a mistake because, and I don't know who's blowing the leads. Well, the one against the special teams, that was inexcusable. But to blow a 20-point lead and to blow a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, from what I read, is entirely inexcusable. And you're running out of people to blame. It can't be the defensive coordinator. And I know that I would assume that the offense changed when Foles came in and they were able to do different things that they couldn't do with Trubisky. But at the same time, it shouldn't take you that long to adapt and adjust.
Right. And some of those guys are running wide open on them patterns too. It wasn't like it changed that much, And Nick Foles is a good quarterback, but they made him look great.
Don't they always? Jalen Hurts does not need to start. Y'all need to stop it, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm the biggest Jalen Hurts fan. My two favorite players are both Oklahoma former quarterbacks, Kyler Murray and Jalen Hurts, but I don't think Jalen is there yet. I just don't. I don't want to throw him in the fire and then get him messed up too early.
And here's the thing, Shelton. If Jalen Hurts was ready or looking good, we would have heard about it by now, especially after these first 3 games. The same way we heard Jordan Love isn't looking that great in practice.
Right. Correct.
So, so the fact that we heard that and the fact that they're letting Aaron Rodgers now throw the ball more than he did last year is telling me that they realize that Aaron Rodgers is their best option right now and probably for the next year or two whenever his contract is up.
Darryl Brown, Spencer Rattler is the next in line. I hate that they got beat this week. They lost. I didn't get to watch the game this week, and I had watched every Oklahoma game for the past 2 years, but I ain't watched one full one this year. I watched that first one, but the Rattlers the next. I think he's gonna be all right. I really do.
Hey, Plug Cap, according to Reddit and recorded audio, I picked the Chiefs. I thought I picked the Ravens, but I'm old, so I forgot. Thank God for evidence.
I was the only one. Yeah, I was the only one that picked the Ravens, and they better not let me down. I was the only one to pick Dallas as well, and you see how that turned out. This boy's gonna run for 100 yards in the first half if he don't get hurt.
What do you have? YouTube TV?
What I'm watching?
Yeah.
No, I got regular cable.
Oh, okay.
Direct TV.
Yeah, I think you're a little bit ahead of me. But
yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Yeah, this is the drive that I want to see. So, you know, everybody knows that the first couple of plays are scripted. So now that that's out of the way, what type of game are they going to call? Is it going to be a mix, more mix of pass and run, or is it they're going to continue to be run dominant? I think they need to mix it up and have them throw a little bit more.
They're gonna have to, and if you're gonna run, you need to be running them horses you got back there, because they're gonna run them in the ground, and that's what it seems like they're doing. It, and you're right, they do the dink and dunk, the short pass stuff, and they're really not. It's like they holding him back a little bit. Now he gonna get his yards, but I want to see him throw down the field more. I think he can. They just don't do it
He
enough.
just made contact with the ref. God dang, Harbaugh. And I know the running sets up the pass, but like.
Can they say you wearing purple for the Chiefs? But I like to see, like I said, I think he's ran all but one of the running plays that they've run.
Man, somebody mentioned Russell Wilson as their MVP. Russell Wilson is the best quarterback in football.
I agree.
I'm telling y'all that right now. And I know Patrick Mahomes exists, but Russell Wilson right now is playing at Patrick's level and a little bit higher in the first. But he was really, really great last year, and he played the whole season. Patrick got hurt, and Patrick kind of took a step back last year. And Russell continued to ascend and play well. I think he's the best.
Russell has been the most consistent, throughout his time in the league. And his bad games are good games, are great games for some. Now, this is amazing, the way he got out of that right there. Just get rid of the ball. Just get rid of the ball, son.
I mean, they got a 6th round. If y'all can't take advantage of a 6th round pick. See, that's Vic-like.
Yeah, if he probably should have taken that to the other side of the field.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, he ran Chris Jones' way. You don't go Chris Jones' side. You go the other side. That hurt right there because he flipped the field. That give the Chiefs good field position. It's going to be hard to stop them. Pretty much, Baltimore's going to pretty much have to score every time down to keep up in this game. Because I don't think they got no answers for Pat.
See what this defense do. Yeah, that's not a good look.
Yes, Chris Jones is earning that money. Chris Jones, that's been a monster. We're gonna get to him tomorrow. I guess Smith for Dallas. He leading the league in sacks. He's been out the league since 16.
Who's that?
Smith. What's his name?
Al,
Smith.
yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, I hope he keep his head on straight, man.
That's the only thing, man. He got to keep his head on.
Yeah, I say, man, any football topic, because I don't know what Nick gonna put on the list. So yeah, any thoughts? Let them fly.
Yeah, he has been a beast, and I was telling a friend of mine was saying why would you be signing Allen Smith? He's a Cowboys fan. I'm like, look, man, that dude he know one thing, and that's get to the quarterback, and he's been doing it. He's been doing it.
And I think his issue was off the field, so it wasn't really, the fact that he couldn't play. He couldn't play because he stayed in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had some, I think, mental health issues, wasn't it?
I think he was an alcoholic or something like that. But it makes me wonder, so if Earl Thomas is going to visit the Texans, and it's going to take a miracle, I feel so bad for Deshaun Watson, man. They're doing that brother wrong.
Oh, my gosh. They're doing him so dirty.
He's such a terrible coach. And the fact that he's still around, it just baffles me. And I understand you can make a case for it, but you can see it on the field. It's not working. This man is 0-3. Now you bring in Earl Thomas. They might as well call Eric Reed too.
Yeah.
They need to do something to turn this season around. Dallas should call Eric Reed. Call him too. Get this man on the field. I was told that if you got talent, you know they'll let you play in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's what they sold us.
And Eric Reed balled up once again. He played with us for the last couple of years, and them releasing Carolina, letting him go, that was hurtful to me. I really thought that he would be back because he played ball. He did his job. I mean, we had problems elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't keep people healthy. Cam couldn't stay healthy, and we just couldn't get right. I think that, as a Carolina fan, we rely way too heavily on Christian McCaffrey. He's a great ball player, but I just knew I said it. I said he's not going to make it through this season. I'm shocked he did last year because to be on the field 97% of the time is ridiculous. Like at some point, get that man a blow. We need somebody that can spell him because there's no reason for him to take that much punishment.
Yeah, he just at some point he was going to break down. Like they just abusing this man, giving him carry after carry.
Mm-hmm.
So they should have definitely drafted some guys, a guy in the third or fourth round to kind of spell him a little bit with some talent. And what I'm seeing when I look around and look at some of the toppers and look at some of the teams and running backs is that there were teams that did find some pretty good talent late in that draft at the running back position.
Right. And Carolina went all defense. And like I said, I'm liking the offense, but I really would have been nice to get at least one offensive player or some skill position weapon.
Hey, Noah, I know they played the Chiefs, Ravens, and Steelers, but if you're an elite team, how many of the games were competitive? I think maybe one. The Steelers was probably the most competitive out of those two.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't even compete. So if you're like Dallas, well, they lost a heartbreaker last week. Who's another team that's lost some real close games that you can look at and say, hey, you know what? They're just a player or two away from winning these games. Then we could talk. But you got to be able to win against the elite teams. And if you're not doing that, that's a good play.
Yeah,
I like this guy, man.
Yeah, he's a monster. Did you see that run right before that?
Mm-hmm.
He would not go down. This guy is hard to tackle.
This is good play calling.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me Lamar? I haven't watched a lot of Lamar Jackson. I just see a lot of the highlights. So I haven't watched a full NFL game that many. But you telling me he can't run screens like that? I don't know how many screens they run, so I might be speaking up. Oh, that was high.
$100 yards a game on 1,000 carries.
Man, that's their only look. They paid him all that money, and that's the way to protect Ryan Tannehill.
It is, and he can handle it. He should be primed and ready to go in the fourth quarter. Backs like that are designed to get these short runs first through the third quarter. Fourth quarter, they should be punishing teams. I would go to him. We wouldn't do nothing but run the ball in the fourth quarter. That's when it should be his time. So I don't mind him carrying the ball that much, especially if they win. If they're winning, then it makes sense. The Tyrod situation, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying the thing about guys like Henry is, again, oftentimes they don't pay guys like him. They just let him go when they use him up like that. So, in addition to everything you said, he should be lucky that he got paid like at his prime and they didn't abuse him and use him.
Right. I agree. So he's paid to do what he's doing.
Wow.
The Tyrod situation is very unfortunate. I watched that game, and I was saying to myself, what could have happened to him before game? Because at first they just said he had a chest injury. I'm like, how do you get injured before a game? It just doesn't make sense for a quarterback. Not like they're doing tackling drills.
Did you see that formation? They had 3 receivers lined right up behind each other. Then brought a guy in motion. That's crazy.
DC, I wanted to see Clowney with the Seahawks too. I don't know if y'all look back at some of the old shows. I kept preaching that. I kept just praying that he went back to Seattle. I think they would definitely be a Super Bowl team with him there. Well, they should. They're probably going to be without him, but I could see them winning with him there because he'll make those necessary plays to make it happen. Oh, that's a great defensive play. Is that Elias Campbell? I think it is. But the Tyrod situation is unfortunate, but with the way what is his name, Herbert, the way he's playing right now, I don't know if Tyrod. Well, I guess you can't lose your job to injury is the mantra in the NFL, and I'm not on the field with the players. Watching them early, they respect Tyrod. Tyrod got a winning record, but that rookie playing some ball. He making some throws, so Tyrod's hook is going to be short when he does come back. I'll tell you that.
Tyrod's done. They punched that man's lung on purpose. It's a wrap. And if Herbert sucked, then yeah, Tyrod would get back in there. But I think after another pretty solid game, I don't think they're going to put him back in there. Why? What's the point? You can let him learn on the field. If he was out there looking like Sam Darnold, then maybe. But right now, he looks like he has command of the offense and the confidence, and it look like the players, rally and follow him. That's big, man.
And he can make all the throws. That's the biggest thing to me. He can make all the throws. So the guy, and I remember watching, like I said, I watched the Hard Knocks, and they were ranting and raving about him in practice. The players were. So he has the confidence of his teammates, which is the biggest thing about it anyway. Yeah, they love Tyrod, but that's this guy's job.
Yeah, and they kind of, I won't say shitted on Herbert, but he didn't get a lot of respect when they were talking about the draft and the quarterbacks, in that class.
He didn't. He got when he was at Oregon, I remember going into his last year, he was the rave. But I watched him play I think he was a junior when he left. But I watched him play his last year, and I wasn't impressed. But the team wasn't. It's hard to impress me. Y'all know I am about these quarterbacks. But I just didn't see the fire and the moxie in him. But like I said, watching him on Hard Knocks, I was like, oh, okay, so he's a little better than I thought, and he is impressive. That first week is difficult to. Nobody was expecting him to play, so he played well his first week because I said part of it was because they had no tape on him, they had no film. Well, Carolina played him pretty good, but he still had a good game.
Yeah.
And he did. He did have a few coaches while he was there, but yeah, I think that Tyrod does keep losing his job, but he gets him because he got the respect of the players in the league.
Right. I mean, he's the black Fitzpatrick.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Placeholder.
Yeah, and that's cool. We'll take that. I think that's good. But I think in terms of fairness and the NFL, kind of going back to what you said about you're not supposed to lose your job to an injury. I think it's fine. I would hope, because y'all know I'm pro brother, that they do at least insert him back into the starting lineup. And if he looks bad, then take him out. Or if the team don't respond, or the coaches got to feel for all that. And it's just not the same. Then you can look to bench him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think Tua will probably play late. Because at some point, Fitzpatrick is just going to start shitting all over the place. It's going to happen. But I think what they want to do is kind of protect him and let his body heal up.
Yes.
They put him in there. Give him the Patrick Mahomes treatment.
Yeah, and I think that's the perfect place to do it because the expectations in Miami are low. He's coming off injury. And Fitzpatrick is a pretty nice guy to learn behind. So it ain't like, he's sitting behind, just sitting on a trash team. It's a team that's up and coming. And next year, he'll be ready to go. He'll have a year on his belt.
Yep. Fitzpatrick, Harvard graduate, played under some pretty good coaches. So he can teach them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
And once again, watching Hard Knocks, I saw him working with Jamie's, and he was a pretty good mentor to have. Yeah, this Patrick Mahomes is like a video game, boy. Patrick Mahomes is tough to stop.
Well, look at this defense, though. What was Peters doing?
Mm-hmm. I don't think the Browns will move anybody before the deadline unless they go on some type of losing streak. In the meantime, they won a couple games, I think. They won the last two games. They don't look good winning. This Browns team, to me, this is the worst looking team. I watch these Browns games. The Browns look like trash. They just do. I mean, Baker is just not a good quarterback, and he never has been to me. Baker's just not it. That's the one Oklahoma guy that just don't get the respect from me. And they're winning these games because they're out. They have more talent than everybody else, and that defensive line is tough. And they play who they beat? The Redskins, and who was the other team they beat? Let me look and see. They beat the Redskins and Bengals. So, like we talked about, think about that. They played. Who have they played? Redskins, Bengals, and who was the third team?
I forgot who they lost to week 1.
But the Browns have had the easiest road. The Ravens. The Ravens kicked their butt. They beat the Bengals 35-30, and they beat Washington 34-20. So that's been, they done had a couple of, as opposed to, like we said, Houston playing those them 3 playoff teams. It's been a cakewalk for them.
Wow. The thing about this offense is that it almost, like, as people like to say, everybody hot. Like, you're not really looking for the fullback to catch that ball.
No.
But the play is so well designed, and it leaves him open, and like it's designed for him. So it's so well designed that you're running to the real weapons, and the guy is right there.
So every player on the field has to be accounted for in this offense.
Yep.
And the flip that he just did, the way he flipped it to who'd have thought about this play? All right, now the Ravens got me looking bad right now.
Well, Harbaugh got to call a better game. Harbaugh got
Yeah.
to call a better game. You
Yeah,
think
they
they're gonna
need-
ever bring fullbacks back to the NFL?
Not like that. Just like basketball, we're in the age of fast pace. Everybody's going fast. Fullbacks are a lot of teams do have fullbacks. Like I know Carolina has a fullback. I think Atlanta still has a fullback. Pittsburgh does. It's a few teams that have them. They just got to be H backs. They got to be able to do multiple things. They got to catch the ball, not in the traditional sense. There'll be no more Darryl Moose Johnsons, but you got to be able to do multiple things as a fullback at this point.
Because Belichick did that, a year or two ago? He brought the fullback back and was running with lead blocks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And was effective too.
Who was his running back that had a lead blocker? Well, he's always had about 5 running backs, but
the guy from Georgia.
Oh, Sonny Michel.
Yep. Is he still on the team?
Yeah. He had a good week this week. He rushed for over 100 yards for the first time. He didn't even get the first game. I think he was hurt. The second game, they didn't give him the ball at all. In this last game, let me see, against the Raiders yesterday, he rushed for 117 yards, 9 carries though. He had but 9 carries. J.J. Taylor, whoever that is, I don't even know who that is. He got more carries than he got 11 carries.
You know how Bill be doing, man.
Yeah, I've never even heard of J.J. Taylor.
Hey, Falk, man, just hang in there with Haskins. This is like his first year, no training camp. I think you'll have ups and downs with him, but I think he'll get it together. He'll be fine. They just need to be patient with him.
Mm-hmm.
If they can be patient, if teams can be patient with fucking Baker Mayfield, they can be patient with fucking Dwayne Haskins. They can be patient with fucking Daniel Jones. They can be patient with Dwayne Haskins.
No, I
like ass.
Neboy 12 says, do you think the Browns can get hot? I absolutely do not believe in the Browns. I think that the Browns won the games that they should won, which is pretty good. There he goes. He's gone. That's a touchdown.
I think
touchdown. I don't think they can get hot. They won the games they were supposed to win. I just don't see it. I mean, they got all the talent in the world, but when it comes time to make a throw, I don't think Baker can make the throws that he needs to. I mean, it's like they're playing sandlot football sometimes. Now those running backs are amazing, but I don't see how they can do it.
You don't think confidence can help a team put together a string of games?
It can, but like I said, the first time he get his butt kicked, Baker's gonna shut down. He's not winning these games. He's playing, ahead in the two games that he played, he's playing ahead, but he doesn't have the moxie to win the games. He just can't do it. So I don't see how they can go on a run. They play the Cowboys next, the Colts, the Steelers, then they're back to the Bengals. Now, realistically, I think they're going to lose the next 3 games. I really do. I just think they're going to lose these next 3 games. And then, of course, they're going to beat the Bengals. But I just don't – I don't see it.
That's the receiver from Texas, right?
Which one, Duvernay? Yes.
Yeah.
If the Browns beat the Cowboys next week, which is possible. It's possible. It's just not probable. I think Dallas comes out strong next week. I really, really do. Where are they playing? I think they're playing in Dallas, right? I don't think that gonna let us down next week. I just really don't think so. But if the Browns beat
the secondary can.
They can, but I like I said, I just don't think he got some guys, but I just don't think he's gonna find them. I think that defensive line is gonna put some pressure on Baker and make it difficult for him to make plays.
So what do you think about offensively outside of Baker and outside of Baker? what do you think about the coach Stefanski and like how he's calling games and his schemes? And do you think he got a good feel for that?
I think he does. He's doing the right things because he's getting the running back. What he's doing is hiding Baker. That's exactly what he's doing. He's getting those running backs involved. They making plays all over the field, both of them. And he's making, he'll make a throw to a game, but he's hiding Baker. And that
But if you
defensive
got
line is
Kareem
tough.
Hunt and Nick Chubb, I mean, shouldn't you want to give them as many touches as possible?
You definitely should. You definitely should. But like I said, if it comes to a game where they got to play from behind, it's just going to be difficult to do. He's not going to be able to throw the ball like let me see what he had. He had 156 yards this week.
No, it wasn't
16 for 23, which once again he wasn't playing from behind, so he didn't have to throw the ball a lot. But when he has to throw the ball a lot, he makes a mistake. He'll make a play every now and again, but he's gonna make a couple of mistakes a game. No matter what, he's gonna make those mistakes per game. That Bengals game, he's about the same. He averaged about 160. Let me see how many yards he had in that Bengals game. 219, 16 for 23. But he had that bad interception. He didn't throw an interception yesterday, but he really ain't throw the ball yesterday like that. 23 times a game, both games. So he's doing a good job of managing the game. But that's offensive coordinator. Like I said, he's hiding him. He ain't having to throw the ball a lot.
Chris Carson stay hurt. Even though what happened to him wasn't his fault.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They said it was a mild sprain, so he may be able to play next week.
Yeah, they said 1 and 2 or 2 weeks.
I hope so, because I signed Carlos Hyde on my fantasy team for that reason. Chubb and Hunt are the truth. I kind of hate that Kareem Hunt is stuck there because there's no reason for him to be a backup anywhere in this league. Kareem Hunt is one of the best backs in the NFL.
Yeah, but it is when you're out there whooping up on white women.
Yeah.
He should be lucky. He actually still got a job.
Yeah, he lucky.
He got did the Ray Rice, and that was to a black woman.
Yes,
or
sir.
That white too.
But when they paid when he took this $13 million deal, I was like, man, there's no reason for him to take this deal. I hated that he took that deal. He should have just played.
I'm sure he had no choice. I don't know if there were a lot of suitors.
Well, I wish he would have just played out the deal that he had, because I think next year he would have had suitors. I think next year he would have been a hot commodity. Like I said, he's making plays all over the field. Mm-hmm. It's hard to keep him. It's hard. It's kind of like how you remember Oklahoma had not Oklahoma, Ohio State had all his quarterbacks that time. You got to figure out a way to get them all on the field. But he making plays. He probably playing about 25-30% of the snaps, I think. But he's making plays. Every time he touches the ball, it's a chance of him doing something. 4 and out. Patrick Mahomes.
Well, it's such a weird sport because you can look unstoppable at times, and then you make one bad play or read, and you're off the field.
Mm-hmm. Momentum is crazy in football too, because there's no way you can't tell me that touchdown returner wasn't amping that defense up and had them going out there playing like world beaters that time.
Daryl, like we're gonna do like a full breakdown of the playoff, the finals, but I'll say this: I'll give you a little bit of a preview. I have 04 Detroit Pistons vibes from this Heat team, and it concerns me. I'll just leave it at that. I still got to do my analysis, but I don't know, man. I don't know about this one just yet. If Hunt wasn't out there whooping up on women, beating women asses and dragging women, he would have a Super Bowl ring, and Mahomes would be a 2-time Super Bowl champ.
That's true. Can you imagine that dude on this team right now?
Yeah.
Goodness, I mean, now Clyde is playing ball, but he was like, it was like having another Tyreek Hill. It's like, where's the ball gonna go? because somebody about to break something at all times. There was no stopping them. But yeah, he'd have 2 on his way to 3.
It's not Dwayne Love. It's not Wade, man. It's just I just got to evaluate who they've played, and I got to evaluate who the Lakers have played because I know the Lakers have beaten them twice in the regular season. I discount that because the bubble is like the great equalizer. And all these teams have just gotten better. Bam's better, Hero's better. Jimmy's more comfortable letting them guys just do what they do. Duncan Robinson has been a sniper the whole season. But on the flip side, AD is way more confident than he was. And that team is now, humming and confident as a whole. But I think they got to take them as serious as they took the Nuggets. So I got to hear what they say in the presser to really get a feel for their mindset going into this. Because I mean, 2004 is a long, long, long time ago. So I can't remember if the Lakers going into that series was overconfident and cocky that they were just going to sweep.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was the case, then yeah, they probably didn't take the Pistons serious. And that defense was elite. The Heat don't have that type of defense. So I don't know, man.
Hopefully the Heat don't feel like that, RJ. RJ said he's so happy for his Heat. Even if they lose, he won't feel bad. Hopefully they don't feel like that. Hopefully they'll come to play and not be awestruck by the Lakers and try to win the series. And Bam, yes, Bam can definitely guard AD, but it's going to have to be by committee, man. They just got to slow him down. They just got to slow him down. They still not running the ball. They ain't doing nothing but throwing the ball.
So I guess my question with Baltimore, well, I'll ask it in the break. This a big drive. See, that's a good throw. You got to catch that.
Yes.
You got to catch that. That's not his fault. Andrews, come on, man. You one of the elite tight ends. That's on you, buddy. That's a well thrown ball.
It was. He put it right down the middle.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. But even if he had made that play, it wouldn't have been enough for the first down. They're running these little short crossing routes on 3rd and 6. Like, why not go downfield? Like, what was that supposed to? I guess getting it to your speedster and letting them try to run with it a little bit, but
okay, so that's what I was going to ask. Like, do they not – I'm going to take Lamar Jackson out of this. Do they just not believe the receivers can run those routes? Or are their, like, route tree that short that they can only run crossing routes? And that's why they're doing it? Because this is bad play calling by Harbaugh.
Yeah. I mean, it is. Like I said, you're handicapping that man. And even in this, like I said, in these drives, I might have been looking down and missed it, but they're not using the running game at all at this point. It's like I think that the play action and the running game is going to set up the pass for him to throw downfield. You don't have nothing to throw to right now.
I mean, so and what prompted that question was Willie Snead. So we remember Willie Snead from when he was with the Saints, but Breeze was at the top of his game. That offense was good. He made good plays, but Breeze made Willie Snead good. Yeah. So Willie Snead's talent is capped to a certain degree. But you got Hollywood Brown and somebody else. Are they not good enough to run more than just cross routes and comebacks? Like, I agree with you. They are handicapping him, and they got to let him loose.
Yeah. And Willie Snead wasn't open on that play. He was running a little bit deeper. He was running across the route too, looked like, but he was running a little bit deeper. And it was just taking too long to develop. It was taking a little too long for him to get downfield.
Hey Matt,
think
but I know he can run. He can go deep, but can he? What about those intermediate routes? So that's what I'm talking about. You got to be able to work the whole field as a receiver.
Yeah.
Man,
That's why I really thought they were going to draft CD.
CeeDee Lamb.
Mm-hmm. Who did they draft in the first round? I can't remember who Baltimore drafted in the first round.
I don't know. X chair. This shit look good, man. Damn, that look comfortable. I have to look that up. Let me see. How much is that?
What was that?
This chair. I probably got a different commercial than you, but it's called an X chair. Xchair8.com. Let me see what they talking about.
Oh, they drafted Patrick Queen in the first round, that was a good draft pick.
All I want to see is a price. They on some bullshit. They don't have a price. See, damn, this motherfucker, $700 to $800, $1,200 chair. What the fuck? They don't lost their goddamn
It's an office chair.
Yeah, but it looked comfortable, but it was expensive as shit.
Oh my gosh. How in the world is Travis Kelce wide open?
Patrick Queen is a good pick, though.
He was a good pick.
That's why they gotta be more aggressive and try to tie the game up. You know, maybe it being a 13-3, 13-10 game, it allows you to kind of stick to what you do so you don't have to press. But when Patrick Mahomes is on the other side, you can't really afford to take those chances because this team is explosive with their play designs, you know, all their schemes, the talent. Like they could just talent you at different positions.
Right. Even that play, that was a 5-yard pass to Sammy Watkins, and he fell down. You got 5 yards doing nothing. That was just like a nothing play. So it's really hard to stop them. Baltimore definitely needs to chew clock. That's what I'm saying. They got them big running backs. They need to be running this ball on first, maybe even second down. Just give them a shot, you know.
I mean, that's what I do on Madden. Like I'm rebuilding the Lions in the franchise. I got Joshua Dobbs as my starting quarterback. At one point I had Rosen. I traded Stafford. So it's not a good team. And all I do is run the clock. I run it, and try to pick up first downs, easy first downs, and keep the opponent off the field.
That's what that guy, some guy, he won the Madden tournament challenge thing. He was funny because he ran the ball. A punter was his quarterback, a cheap punter at that. And he ran the ball every play. He didn't pass one time. And he won like the Madden National Championship.
That shit would annoy the fuck out of me.
That's true. Harbaugh is goofy for that because they do have 3 tough running backs too. All 3 of them can run the ball. There you go. You see even plays like this, like they had him. They had him. He's elusive. He's making plays.
Wow. I think Lamar Jackson can do this stuff, man. Like he don't have, like that play where you're talking about where they had him, he can do that. Scramble a little bit and then just hit a guy running across. That's easy pitch and catch.
Made the play that time. Glaz Campbell is playing ball this game. Yeah, that was trash. He had a kicker at quarterback and no wide receivers, but he ran to win the championship. Ken, you know, I just now hooked up my PlayStation that I bought the other day.
For real?
I got it's gonna be offsides on the defense. I got a VR too. I just hooked the VR up and ordered Rocky.
Yeah, I'm bad about stuff like that.
Yeah, the Ravens secondary do got to stop playing scared, but I don't know what you can do, man. This he's able to look all over the field, and wherever you're weak is where he's going to exploit. That's what makes him great right now. This dude he's going to where he don't have a favorite target to where he's going to the same place every time. Once again, I compare everything to Cam, so y'all got to forgive me. But Cam Newton used to have, Greg Olsen was his target. Like, oh my gosh, what a catch. What a touchdown. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm early, but that's how you make a catch. Marcus Peters just got burnt.
Again.
Mm-hmm. The linebacker bumped Marcus Peters. But that was a perfect pass. I mean, you couldn't have thrown a more perfect ball.
Wasn't much you can do about that.
Yeah.
It was
they ran him into the linebacker. So that wasn't all Peters' fault. But where that ball was put, no, I don't think the Ravens can keep up now, even though I predicted that they would win this game. I'm watching it, and I don't see how they can stop these Chiefs. I just don't see how they can stop them.
That's why Harbaugh needs to open the playbook up. Because I think if he would have at least tied it, it would give him a shot. You don't feel that pressure of having to try to keep up with the Chiefs.
Right. I saw Michael Vick talked about it today, and he was saying how he was on one of those shows, but he was talking about how, and I was like, that's so true. He's talking about Dallas is who he was talking about. And he was saying how the first half, they're a first half and second half team. Like second half, they just turn it loose. First half, they're playing so conservative that they get behind. And then second half, they just take the training wheels off Dak, and then he'll throw for it. Because I think first half, he had 120 yards or something like that and ended up with 415. He was like, if they just play balls to the wall from the beginning, you don't have to get in that mode. And that's what you're saying right now, the exact same thing about the Ravens. Like, play ball right now. Throw the ball down the field. Make plays right now instead of waiting until you're down 20 points and then trying to play catch-up, because it's not going to work. It's just not. I think this next series, man, there's 6 minutes left in the half. You need to it's second quarter, isn't it?
Yeah, just second quarter.
So 6 minutes left in the half. You need to really try to grind this clock out and get down and get a score. You need a touchdown before halftime, but it shouldn't be much time left on the clock by the time the half ends. You don't want to give them the ball. That would be my key as a coach, to have the ball at the end of every half. No matter what, I need to have the ball last.
But you know what the thing was, like we're talking about those crossing routes, and if you go back to the opening drive of this game, they ran the crossing routes in the red zone again, and it wasn't even past the first down marker. So it's a bad call because you don't have the receivers that can make plays once they catch it. And with that field contracted the way it is, it's not a lot of room to operate. So he has to be able to catch that and turn up the field. But he's catching it, and then he's getting, and I think they're in a zone or some type of zone, and all they do is just run up and hit him.
Right.
Is that Baker? They might put 40 on these boys.
I wouldn't be surprised. There you go. Finally going to the ground.
Yeah, Tigolo, just terrible, man. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough, and play calling has a big factor.
See, I don't think they're, and you're right, they're not built to play from behind, but I don't think they're behind quite yet to where they kind of get away from their regular play calling. It's just they really just need to chew some clock right now. Make this a 1/2 game. You got to keep that ball. The best defense for Patrick Mahomes is to keep him on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
This is actually, I think I even like what they're doing, what the Chiefs are doing defensively too.
Mm-hmm.
They got a spot on him.
They're playing a heck of a game. They're making this Chief defense look like their defense.
Oh, somebody gonna get fined. I saw somebody with a mask off.
Now they're doing it the right way. They're controlling the clock. Keep that clock ticking.
And the thing about the Chiefs they haven't even really looked all that impressive, to start the season. They won, and good teams win games where they don't look impressive.
Yeah.
So I feel like they have a whole other level to go to. Mm-hmm.
3rd down and 7. That's what they need to stay out of. And they're trying to get him outside, but oh my gosh. Yeah, Lamar might be jacked up a little bit too much right now. Maybe I'm assuming.
Oh, man. But that's smart defense to send a blitz to force him to run out.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's not that accurate throwing on the run.
Right. This might get ugly like the masterpiece sneakers.
And then two Raven receivers fell down. So he's running to his right. The receivers fall down, and you only have one option, which you can't get to because once you roll out like that, that's half the field gone. So
Yeah, JK does need to be used in the passing game. They probably need like one of those quick little scat backs. I mean, I'm saying it like it's just a dime a dozen, but You need like a third down back to play in this offense. Somebody that's quick that you can just dump the ball off to and get some yards. They could have signed a Chris Thompson or somebody like that. That would help Lamar tremendously to have somebody to dump the ball to.
But you know what, man? Lamar is better than this. I don't think the Chiefs' defense is that damn good. This is just bad play calling.
It is. They're not putting them in position to win. The Chiefs' defense is playing a heck of a game. Now, they call it a good game. It's just like somebody just said on here, it is a bad half on both sides of the ball for them. Their defense is not making any plays. And the offense is just, look like they just experimenting out there almost.
Yep.
Let's try this and hope it works. They don't look – this doesn't look like the same Baltimore Ravens team that I've seen for most of last year and the beginning of this year. This goes on both Jim and the OC. They should be prepared for this game. The team should be mentally prepared for this game, and the players should be physically prepared for this game. So that's on both the head coach and the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator for that matter, because they just don't look ready.
Yeah, it's just not a good game plan. Whatever game plan they came in that they felt like they could execute against this team is not working. So do they have a plan B? What are you going to go to? And can you hold on enough to get to it if you're going to make those adjustments at halftime? Right now, the defense isn't playing well. So you get down 27-10, man.
It's gonna be tough. If it's 27-10, it's gonna be, this defense is looking like FSU Saturday night. I think Florida State is through, bro. That's a terrible looking team.
Hey, no, gone are the days of Jameis Winston when they were great. Are there any black quarterbacks? Hey, Noah Perez, you might be right on that Madden curse. Are there any new Deshaun Watsons, Cam Newton? Well, let's just go with the last couple of years. Deshaun Watsons or Jameis Winston's in college right now?
Let me think of what I've seen thus far.
Like you just knew like Jameis, has the talent. His NFL career has just been on the way down. But that first year in college, like he was really good. Deshaun was another level. Cam was special. I'm trying to think. Dwayne Haskins had a special year.
Yeah, he did.
So did Justin Fields. Like, who's the black guy now? I guess it is Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is it.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler. I did. We talked about him. De'Aaron King looks really good, but I don't think they're gonna let him. I don't think they're gonna let him play quarterback in the league. He's just a little too small. I don't know if Deion's gonna land top recruits at Jackson State because me as a parent, I wouldn't expect him to be there that long. I don't know how deep his investment is at Jackson State.
I think it is. And okay, let me say this. Let me say it this way. I'm hopeful that it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling like these guys are looking around and be like, you know what? Let's start in our community. Let's start with our programs. Let's build these programs up. And if you can get these guys to come to get some of these top recruits, all you need are one or two and build them up, then more players would be more than likely to come. And you also look at what Troy Vincent, you can criticize him for a lot of things, but I like what he's doing with HBCUs. And we're going to have an HBCU camp. And they're looking to invite guys like that. Like, that's how change happens. And that's how you start to get some of these guys that play at these colleges, these opportunities. That's why they don't go there, because they don't get a look.
Mm-hmm.
So
True.
if he's truly committed to this, and he can basically lead the way and be an example for other coaches to want to go there, he's not looking at this as a launch pad for his career. We could be in for a special decade plus to come.
Yeah, and I think he'd have to recruit early, man, because he would have to be winning pretty quickly to get those guys to continue on that trend. But I think that, like you said, I think that'll be so dope, man. If those guys start going there, you used to seeing it in, well, not used to, but I would expect it in basketball faster than football. But
yeah,
if it happens, then that'd be just awesome.
Hey, but you remember when Grambling had a program, man? Like,
yeah,
they were lighting some dudes up. Is Trey Lance good?
I haven't seen Trey Lance this year.
I haven't either. Marty McFly, is he good? Because I've seen Bryce Young's name a lot, and Caleb Williams, I've seen his name too. I haven't seen him play. So,
hey, Clemson got a couple of black backup quarterbacks that look pretty good. Trey Lance was good. Is he a junior? Didn't he play good last year?
I don't remember. I didn't really watch a lot of college football last year.
Yeah, Trey Lance was the championship game most outstanding player.
Okay.
Trey's a future first round pick. He's that good?
Yeah,
well, I guess so. I guess so. 6'4".
Yeah, Wentz isn't done.
Wide open. Look at that. Oh my gosh. 27-10. 27-10.
Kellen Mond. All right, I appreciate y'all. Y'all giving me some.
Kellen Mond is nice. I don't know how we forgot about Kellen Mond. Who else got it? Tennessee got a black quarterback too. That's pretty good.
This is an organizational failure to get on Monday Night Football and play like this. On the defensive end too, like sometimes as a defense, you gotta hold things down until your offense get shit going. And for this to happen, like what is that? What is 12 doing? Was he expecting a safety belt?
I don't know what in the world was going on right there.
They're gonna put up 40, Shelton.
They're gonna have, yeah. They got 27 now. They may put up 50 tonight. They're making it look easy. Yeah. I see the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl too. I really thought I'm disappointed, man, because I thought Baltimore was going to win this game. I really thought that the Chiefs would kind of take them lightly, and Baltimore was going to come out firing.
Yeah, here's my thing with Baltimore. I know people love him. I know Lamar Jackson is a superstar. He's fun to watch and exciting to watch. He's the new Vic, the modern age Vic, Neo Vic, as they like to say, neoliberalism and everything. Mm-hmm. That's what he is. But until they figure out a way to run a real offense around him and not this gimmicky shit, you're gonna get this every single year. The difference between like what Lamar is doing or what they're doing with Lamar, I'm not gonna say what Lamar is doing, what they're doing with Lamar, is that, and I'm gonna go back to Cam. They ran Cam, but Cam had passing plays. Yeah. Cam was passing the ball, and they called running plays for him. They're doing the reverse for Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. And it's almost insulting, man. to be honest.
It is. Now they
And the other thing is like, and you know, like people are gonna look at the stats and stuff like that, but it's also like why you got to watch the games. And I don't watch a lot of games, but I see some of the highlights. But watching now, and sometimes even look, you can see that like even the pass plays they call it very rudimentary. Like it's not even anything complex.
It's and what you're saying is even more so exaggerated when you're watching this Kansas City Chief offense and the way they running routes and these crazy plays where no two plays look alike. Did he fumble? I don't think he fumbled. I think that was a pass. I think his arm was moving forward.
And see the other thing, and he's ran like he can run an offense because he ran one in college.
Yeah.
So they handicapping this man.
No, that's a fumble. Oh my gosh.
But this is what see the thing is, if you can contain his run, you're not worried about the pass. Because when you're looking at we lit him up. When you're looking at their pass plays, okay, yeah, it's a little slant route or crossing route for a tight end or so, or you know, drag route here and there. We don't care about that.
I don't think he has no receiver. Receivers don't have any yards unless Willie Snead caught a pass this half. Let me see, because I don't think so.
He hasn't.
I don't think any receivers have caught a pass in this game.
They haven't. I mean, I'm sure there have been plays where they ran downfield, but
yeah, Willie Snead 2 catches for 4 yards.
You can't be throwing. I mean,
Duvernay 2 catches for 7 yards.
You got Hollywood Brown out there, and somebody else that I think is better, like Willie Snead, dude. And you couldn't find anybody in the off season off the free agent market. Willie Snead is washed up.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So you got four receptions for 11 yards from your wide receivers.
Man, they don't messed around and gave Andy Reid like the one thing he's like lacked. Well, no, he's had some pretty good quarterbacks, but for what he likes to do, to have a guy like this that can do everything, man. Patrick may win 7 or 8 Super Bowls.
Mr. T, you are absolutely right. They do need AB. In Baltimore, they do need AB.
Justin Jefferson would have been good.
He would have been.
Yep, he would have been a good guy to pick up. Let me look at their draft. All right, they might as well go get Dez Bryant, but they definitely should get AB on the phone. Let me see. Ravens. God dang it.
But even with all that said, that tells you how good this Kansas City Chiefs team is, because this Ravens team was tough, and they making them look like some kids out here. Now this just shows you the separation from first and second place.
Well, yeah, if we're looking at, I agree with you as far as their defense, how they're training their defense. Yeah, I think offensively, the Ravens can be much, much better, but they're playing scared. So they got Patrick Queen, Dobbins.
Oh, we had him again. Almost. Yeah, AB is sitting out for 8 weeks.
Oh, yeah, they got the receiver from Texas. Where is he at? Put him in.
He's caught 2 passes for 7 yards first half.
But use him more. Dodged the bullet with that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be 30-10.5.
40. They putting up 40, man.
50. I bet 50 tonight.
Man, if they put 50 on these boys.
Yeah, Duvernay did run that kickback. That's been the only bright spot for these Ravens this game.
But from what I remember, he was a good receiver in college. Like, yeah, he wasn't like elite, but he was pretty good. So if you mean to tell me that he can't steal Willie Snead's job? I know he's a rookie, and I don't know what they're doing in practice or how good he's playing. He's practicing, but my God, this shit.
Right. I still thought they were going to draft CeeDee Lamb, and I think that would have been my pick. He missed it.
I remember when I was in he missed the extra point and now he missed the field goal.
Yeah, that's big. What was messed up was he raised his arms up in the air like he made it.
I used to have to cover Division III football games.
Mm-hmm.
And when they didn't have quarterbacks, they would run, it wasn't a wildcat, but what is that play? What is it called? Let me look it up. But all they would do was it was a version of the wildcat. What did they call that thing?
Wishbone?
Yeah, something like, I guess we could, wishbone. Man, that's when you don't have a quarterback. They just know how to run. And that's all you do is you just run over and over again to the left, to the right. You hand it off. And it was some of the worst football to ever try to record or to ever try to get highlights from. This is what the Ravens offense looked like to me. It looks like the goddamn wishbone. Where that's what it reminds me of.
Y'all are right. It wasn't CD. Who's the wide receiver that dropped that I was saying that they should have got? It wasn't CD at the time. Wasn't T. Higgins. Where's Brandon Ayuk? There was some good receivers in this draft too. And the Chiefs get the ball in the second half. It might have been Jalen Reagor. That's why it may have been Jalen Reagor. KJ Hamler was good. I can't remember who it was. At the time, I was like, I wanted them to draft that receiver so bad.
Look at this shit. Look at this shit.
Pittman was good. It may have been Justin Jefferson. I can't remember who I was thinking at the time. I was hoping CD fell to them, though, because I thought him and Lamar would be good together.
Denzel Mims. Yeah, some of these guys are getting on the field. Yeah, I agree, DC. They do need some size. Somebody that's 6'4", 6'5", 6'3" would be good enough. That's bad.
I've been watching that Ruggs play. I was thinking that was just the dumbest thing ever to draft him so high. And he is hurt, but he played some ball that first week against the Panthers. He was looking good that first half.
Well, the Raiders came back down to normal.
Yeah.
So people can slow down on their ass. But that Chase Claypool, the receiver that the Steelers drafted, I think he might be pretty good, man.
Yeah, he was a good college player. He was.
Uh-oh.
But a lot of those guys, man, and it's a shame for them, but a lot is expected early of these players. And what we have to remember this year is we did not get a full camp. We didn't get all the off-season work that we normally would. We didn't get a preseason. So a lot this year, some of these guys should get a pass for. I don't think the vets should, but some of these rookies, I think, these rookies and sophomore players, Haskins and players like that, they deserve not necessarily a pass, but they get, like, y'all know my keyword is asterisk. I think they should because they didn't get a chance to work like these other guys did. And they're not, it's hard to be a pro, to go from being a college player to a pro. And without the work in the offseason, it's damn near impossible. So, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they deserve a little bit of chance to develop. These players get 2 years instead of 1.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Steelers do a great job with wide receivers. And I'm talking about they get them out the dirt and turn them good. Wide receivers and linebackers.
Yeah, Fuller. Yeah, he stay hurt. 7 of 15 for 35 yards. What in the entire hell?
Yeah, that's not cool. Talking about the Eagles are not considering benching Carson.
It will be stupid, man. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Philly, and he's played like shit. Well, you can't bench the guy. Not yet. Not for Jalen Hurts. And I ain't trying to insult the brother, but Jesus Christ, let's not act like Jalen Hurts was out there looking like damn fucking Vince Young.
You're right.
Remember who this guy was. He had a good year in Oklahoma, but he also got his smashed.
Yeah, and like I said, Jalen is one of my favorite players because he's an awesome leader. And I think with the development, he'll be okay. But it's going to take some time. Throwing him out there now wouldn't be no good for him or the Eagles.
Nope.
But I do think Carson Wentz should be on notice. I think that he was crowned too early, like they do all the white quarterbacks. It's just the truth. They treat him a little different. He got his money.
Do you think he was really crowned too early? Because I was late to the card. Okay, so what you said is how I felt until that MVP season. Because I ain't gonna lie, I was low key. I was like, Carson Wentz is not the good. Why are y'all hyping this dude up? And then he had the MVP season. I'm like, damn, man, I was wrong. I should have stuck with that because he came back to where he was.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say. That's the problem. I think that we crown people too early, meaning like, yeah, you can play out of your mind and have a great year, but to do it consistently is a whole nother matter, and that's the issue. A lot of these guys have a great year, and all of a sudden it's like, well, we got to give them the money. Same thing with Jared Goff. Jared Goff had a great season, and he's doing better this year. But was he worth all that money? I just don't see it yet. I need to see more to be determined.
Yeah, I mean, I was low on Jared off.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Wentz's breakout year was his 3rd year in the league.
Was it his 3rd or 2nd?
If it was his 2nd, maybe I broke my own rule. But if it was his 3rd, I think that was enough time. Hold on. Let me see here. Yeah, no, it was his 2nd year. Yeah, he ain't been shit since then. So yeah, I mean, but man, I don't know, man. Shelter, he was balling that year.
He was playing ball, and and he looked really good. But once again, it's easier to do it. If he did it for 2 years at least, then we could have a conversation. But we saw a glimpse of what he could be, not what he is. And injuries and confidence have slowed him down. His confidence is shot, looks like.
It might be, but also, is it also fair to say that he ain't been the same since the injury?
He hasn't. He hasn't since the injury. And he doesn't have much wide receiver help either. It's not like he got world beaters out there on the edges, but still, he's just not playing good football whatsoever. He's not making. Once again, I say the same thing all the time. When I look at quarterbacks, you need a difference maker out there, a guy that can win a game that should be unwinnable, and he is not that right now.
Well, he did that last year.
He won some games last year. I expected them to be worse than what they are, but I just still don't see it. He's not healthy, and he's just not it. He's not it. But he shouldn't be benched, though. I don't think he should be benched yet.
Yeah. Who said that? Where is it? Because I agree with them. That Carson hasn't been the same since Frank left. And I think I may have even mentioned that on the show last year. But damn, Tariq Cohen out for the season? That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Damn, Broncos lost Jarrell Casey for the year.
Yeah, the Broncos had it rough.
So isn't that who Tampa Bay beat last week?
The Broncos, yeah, they beat them this week.
So we can't say the Bucs are good yet, can we? Just because they beat the fucking Broncos without their quarterback.
No, they beat the Broncos and the Panthers, and the Panthers played most of the game without Christian McCaffrey and did not look good that game at all. But no, we still don't know what the Bucs are. I don't think the Bucs know what the Bucs are.
Yeah.
They got they're trying to still run. Is it
oh shit, they already benched Trubisky in favor of Foles. That was quick.
Yeah, they did. That was quick. It was real quick.
Damn. It was all good just a week ago. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing about Cam Newton. I'm happy with his play versus the Raiders. That was a big win because the Raiders were 2-0. Well, I won't say a big win. I'm glad they won it, but and it was a needed win, especially to keep up with Buffalo. But yeah, Cam didn't play well. The stats didn't look good.
I don't know how Dan Quinn still got a job. Dan Quinn must got some dirt on Arthur Blank or something like that. Maybe he caught him with something going on or something with some woman, but I don't know how he still got a job. I don't get it.
Arthur Blank just being patient, man. And you know what? So I wonder if like the players really, really, really fuck with Dan Quinn. And I think that goes a long way because I think that's what helped him come back last year, the way they finished strong and really, play hard for him. But these collapses, like they should be 2-1 easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm with you to lose back-to-back games like that, to become a joke, to have pundits on TV call you the dumbest football team, in America, all of that stuff. That's what got Doc Rivers fired. because they became a joke and a laughingstock of the NBA. And that's what the Falcons are turning into. That hurts the brand, that hurts the image. And, you know, if you are Arthur Blank, you make money by selling merch and selling that image too.
Correct.
You can only do that by winning games. So
right. And you built a fan base that's, the Falcons got a pretty nice fan base, man, and a pretty nice foundation. And you can only lose them if you keep this up. So to me, it's more like you said, it's more business than it is personal or even about football at this point. It's business. You got fans that will turn on you here, and they'll start thinking about something else.
mm-hmm.
So you got to take advantage of the fact that you got these people. When Vic was here, it was lightning in a bottle. Everybody wanted to be at the game. Everybody was on the field. The Dirty Bird sensation that came out of nowhere. And these fans stuck for a while, but they're not going to stick through this. They're just not. You got people that aren't even football fans that are Falcons fans at this point. And you're going to lose that casual fan. And that's going to hurt your bottom line. So I don't see how they can keep him as coach.
Man, that's some bullshit.
We got a super chat from Tavares 6. Appreciate that, man. He said Josh Allen and White Cam Newton. He's close. I'll say that he's close. He doesn't run quite as much as Cam to me. I don't think he runs quite as much as Cam, but he's done a good job in that offense. And another thing that people don't think about is Buffalo is the Carolina of the North. Sean McDermott is there, and he's a descendant from Carolina. So a lot of those players come from Carolina. A lot of the staff is Carolina people, and they all just went up to Buffalo. So yeah, I could see where they kind of patterned him. I'm sure they saw Cam Newton in him when they drafted him. So yeah.
Josh Allen, he is the white Cam Newton, man. He is the white Cam Newton. Watch. You know, I think I may have said that on the program one day, one show last year. I have to go back and find it, but yeah, man, he's a white Cam Newton. Big arm, can run, mobile, run people over, big as fuck. Yeah, man.
Trevor Lawrence to Atlanta, I don't think so. I don't think that Atlanta's going to lose. They're 0-3, and they're not going to have a great year, but they're not going to get the number one pick. I don't think he'll be in Atlanta.
Yeah, I think Buffalo also did a good job of getting him weapons because they got Stephon Diggs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they did a good job. They're not unlike Carolina. Well, I mean, Carolina eventually got Steve Smith. They are at least working to get this man weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was cold on Josh Allen, but I like him because I just have a thing when analysts and a lot of media analysts and these draft experts start hyping up these unknown white quarterbacks out of nowhere over guys that I've seen play in the NFL that's a little bit better, like Daniel Jones and then Josh Allen. Sam Darnold, I got Baker Mayfield, I got Herbert, I got. When you start just pulling guys out of nowhere, I'm like, all right, man, I got a problem with that. But I came around on Josh Allen because I saw this man really improve and work on his skill, his raw skill, talent, and ability. And and I can respect that. Like, I'll give you another example. Daniel Jones, hey man, it's a lot of hype. It's a lot of hype for him. So
yeah, it came from Duke, and I never saw it. I mean, it just wasn't there.
Right, and they still hyping him up.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. I can see where these people are marginal at best. No, the Falcons should not tank for Trevor. The Falcons would be smart to get Justin Fields.
Oh, I should have let you finish.
Yeah,
I think absolutely right.
That'll be the better look for them because you get a hometown kid, and once again, you put the butts back in the seats. I think Justin Fields is a great quarterback too. So I think he'd be the one that you want to target if you were Atlanta.
Yep.
Justin Fields, that would be your better fit.
Hell no. Hell no. They got everything, man.
There's nothing you can do with them.
They like running a pro-style college offense. As crazy as that sounds.
It is.
You don't do this in the NFL.
Is this Eric Bieniemy or is it Andy Reid completely? Fumble. That's a big play. They got to get this.
I think that was Andy Reid.
I think
I
so
don't think
too.
Eric Bieniemy would get that, that clever, that creative with his plays.
They got it. Baltimore got the turnover. That was the big play that they needed because this game was about to be over. Still might be over, but that was the play that they needed to have happen. And what's funny is the only plays that Baltimore are making, I don't know if y'all notice this, but whenever any running back besides Clyde touches the ball, that's when Baltimore make a play. Tackles for loss. Any of the plays that's been made has been on the other running backs. Tavares said that Bieniemy calls the plays, but I wonder how much of this he's designing.
Yeah, is that his play design?
Mm-hmm. I would really like to know what role he plays because I think that's important to determine why he hasn't gotten the job yet. Because if his role is that important, there's no reason this man shouldn't have a job.
Well, this, Shelton. They tell us one thing and do another, and they did that with Eric B. You have to be an offensive coordinator to get a head coaching job. Well, he is. Oh, well, you got to call the plays. And you got to do it. They keep moving the goalposts.
Yeah, they do.
They give guys like Adam Gase and Freddie Kitchens and Kevin Stefanski jobs, and they got Matt Patricia.
Kingsbury. Kingsbury's, even though that the team is playing pretty good, that's the best example. Like, how in the world you give him a job? He's a losing college coach at that. Then, what's the Giants coach name?
Joe Judge. And the Giants look terrible.
Special teams coach.
Man, man, the Giants, I got to look at their schedule, but they may win only 3 games this year. Without Barkley,
yeah,
and Daniel Jones throwing the ball. Daniel Jones, he's turnover prone. All he does is fumble the ball and throw picks. That's what we've seen so far. He can change it. He's still young, but way too much hype. Like, you remember when he had that big game last year and everybody was like, oh, look at Daniel Jones. And he was shit after that.
And that's crazy. And the disparity, and it's true, like you said, it's the same is true for quarterbacks as it is for coaches. These black quarterbacks have to go above and beyond to prove to be accepted, whereas the white quarterbacks are crowned after one game.
Mm-hmm. That is special what he's doing, though. To be on that list for Lamar, man, a guy that was a throwaway and only got drafted because Ozzie was looking out for a brother.
Yeah, try to make that man change positions.
Oh, Jesus Christ. They know all the plays they're running.
Yeah, it looks like they're in their playbook, don't it? It's like ain't nothing they can run that the Chiefs aren't ready for right now.
Well, that's also not a good fake either.
Look at this. They even ran the option and they were ready for that. Now, 3rd and 5, in most cases, this will be a prime down. But in this game, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, Punt team, get ready. And this second, other than that fumble, this second half has looked just like the first. This play is going to determine the game right here.
I like Ingram, but Dobbs should be starting. Dobbins.
Mm-hmm.
Let that man loose. Do thunder and lightning like they used to do. Go back to that Warwick Dunn, Mike Allstott days.
Mm-hmm. 3rd down and 1 now. This is more manageable now. Now you need Ingram to get a yard. What in the world play was this they about to run? I don't know what they about to run just now, but it didn't look right. Oh my gosh. It looks like training camp, like they're trying plays. Like, let's try to see if this works. Let's try this.
It's bad, man. Like if you're a Lamar Jackson hater, tonight's your night. Like this is for you. You winning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he had the first down and ran backwards. Oh, he got the first down.
Edwards, who is this?
Gus Edwards.
Oh, Gus Edwards. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a big power back. Okay.
Yeah, he is. He run with some power behind him.
That's probably why he was in on that play then.
Yeah, because it was 3rd and 1.
So maybe that's why they don't run a lot of routes for them. Their right route tree probably is small. Was that awareness on that play where he caught it and he ran back? That's not
right. They were fortunate to get that first down.
Yeah, it's like you said, where are you going? Like you catch that, if you know you're beyond the mark, you catch, you just fall down. Do like the Rams did. Just fall down.
Right. Somebody said Brown need to go deep. He just went deep and got overthrown. Now that was not a good pass by Lamar Jackson.
But here's the thing, and let me see it. You gotta get those opportunities, because if you haven't thrown deep, and he had a step on it, but if you haven't really thrown deep all game, like you got to get into that rhythm of being able to make that. For a guy like him, Patrick Mahomes can make that, because he's just a natural thrower. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, etc. A guy like Lamar Jackson needs reps.
Yes, he does. Now this is what he does best right here. This hopefully that'll be the thing that picks him up and make this a game at this point, because we need it. They call him Lamar Taysom Hill in big game. Oh.
All right, man, they going too far now. Taysom Hill not even close to Bill Lamar. They being insulting. Taysom Hill is just a
gimmick player.
Yeah, he's a neo Tim Tebow.
That's it.
That's all.
Joe Webb. I don't know if you remember, the Panthers had Joe Webb.
I remember Joe Webb.
Yeah, he was. That's what Taysom Hill is, and more than anything else. But Joe Webb started a year and did good. He started in Minnesota. I think he made the playoffs.
Hey man, you remember Cordell Stewart?
Yes.
Remember we thought Cordell Stewart was good. At least I did. Thought Cordell Stewart was actually good.
I really thought he was good. He let me down.
And I went back and I was like, oh yeah, why nobody really ever talk about him? And I went back and I just kind of started looking through his stats. I was like, damn, he wasn't that good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just like good to see a black guy on the field, but yeah, his
Yeah.
stats weren't all that good. I was like, man, I thought he was way better than what.
Slash. See, because when he was at Colorado, him and Michael Westbrook were making all those big plays, and
Mm-hmm.
he could throw the ball. But when he went to the league, they was using him everything but quarterback. They was trying to make him do all the gimmick stuff. He was
Yep.
doing the heel stuff before heel, and I think he just didn't get enough reps at quarterback. So when they put him back at quarterback, the game was too fast for him at quarterback at that point. That's what I believe.
Yeah,
And
I
yeah,
would love to talk to him.
I would too. I spoke to him once at I was at Falcons training camp one year, and I spoke to him there. We might need to try to reach out to him. I didn't even think about that.
Because that would be interesting. Somebody should like talk to him and be like, hey man, tell me about what really happened in Pittsburgh.
Right.
And a lot of guys that may be watching, they don't remember that time. Like to see of course, we talk about it, but a black quarterback to get in, but it also shows you when you go back and look at it what they thought about black quarterbacks as a whole. Like he was very gimmicky and they didn't want him to throw a lot. It was a lot of running.
Right.
Eerily similar to what they're doing with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
The only thing is we got other black quarterbacks that do throw the ball. And Cordell Stewart wasn't even an eighth as gifted athletically and talented as Lamar Jackson is.
Right. Yeah, he was with the Ravens for a minute. I forgot about Cordell played with the Ravens for a little while.
He did?
Yeah, he did. At the end, near the end of his career, he was a Baltimore touchdown. Oh, he dropped it. He dropped it. That was a nice pass. Yeah, Joe Webb was on the kickoff team. He sure was. He was on the kickoff return and kickoff team. Joe Webb played all over the field.
I needed those fantasy points, Andrews. Oh, don't come off limping.
He's Baltimore's only hope at this point.
I mean, that's the shot, but
now you're in another third and long situation, another short pass and trying to run for it. It's like you have no go for it. You got to go for it at this point.
That's the second one he's dropped. They were trying to say he was one of the best tight ends in the game. He was like top 5.
Are they going for it? Yeah, they're going for it, and they should. You play with house money anyway. They ain't got no business out there.
If Dobbins would have put his head down and instead of trying to cut back, he could have picked up that first down.
These offensive linemen. Oh yeah, I forgot about Terrell Pryor. Yeah, Terrell Pryor. He just never developed. I don't think he had it. Orlando Brown Jr. made a mistake. I don't know if I ever told y'all the story about Orlando Brown dad, Zeus. Mm-hmm. Remember his dad got the flag thrown in his eye?
Yeah, the one, yeah.
I might have told you this story, but his dad, when I was in college, I used to hang with a couple of the defensive linemen. They were from my hometown. I'm from Rock Hill, by the way, Jadavion Clowney country. But I used to hang with a couple of the defensive linemen at South Carolina State. And they introduced me to this guy. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was big. He's about 6'4", 300 pounds. He's an offensive lineman. And I said, you start? He was like, nah. I said, you don't start? Like as big as you are? I said, what in the world reason are you not starting? He was like, you want to know why I don't start? I said, yeah. So he said, go knock on the door next door. Just knock on the door next door, all right? So I was like, all right, cool. So I walked out there, and everybody was with me. So I don't know what made me do it, but I went and knocked on the door next door. And this mammoth of a man, I'm talking about Zeus was probably 6'8", 350, opened the door and walked out of the door frame. He ducked his head down and came out. And he was like, that's why I don't start. I was like, oh, okay. I get it. Zeus was a freaking monster. I'm talking about that dude was huge. Rest in peace, Orlando Brown. But he was a gentle giant, but you wasn't getting around that dude. That dude was a dominant offensive lineman from the beginning to the end.
Damn.
But yeah, looking at that man, I felt my heart drop a little bit because I was like, I had never seen a man that big in my life. He was huge.
Hey, Marley, so the thing about Terrell Pryor is another example of how they used to treat black quarterbacks. Because, yeah, he was decent. He wasn't all that. He was decent. But, yeah, as a receiver, you know, he was good too. But who knows what he could have actually been as a QB. But he did what he had to do to stay and play in the league. And you got to, you know, I respect that. But yeah, and that's why when you get guys like Jamarcus Russell, who didn't take the game serious at all.
Mm-hmm.
Jamarcus Russell is he's like the black Ryan Leaf. Just plain.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
That's true.
like, because Ryan Leaf just fell apart when he got in the league.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. Whatever happened to Vince Young, you think, though, as a player? Because Vince started out, you know, of course, he ended his college career hot, but he started out in the pros. You know, it's funny how fast, just like RG3, same thing, how fast they come crashing down.
RG3 was sabotage, but go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. It's just like they come crashing down quickly. Vince Carter went from being the man to like he was done. And I just don't understand it.
I think that was Jeff Fisher. And I think there's a couple of articles or maybe a podcast or video about his relationship with Jeff Fisher. And I think he had some off the field stuff too. But you're right. Like he was decent. He was effective. He was pretty good. Like Vince Young could have been something, but I think it was before people knew Jeff Fisher couldn't coach.
Mm-hmm.
So Vince Young was the first victim of that. And we didn't see that until that he couldn't coach until Nick Foles got him and he went to the Rams. Because we thought Jeff Fisher was an actually good coach when he had the Titans and he had Vince McMahon, Eddie George.
Yeah.
What is that tight end? Kevin Dyson. Is it Kevin Dyson was the receiver?
Was that who it was? Yeah. Yes, he was. Kevin Dyson was the wide receiver that was making all the plays for them.
Yep. So, but either way, but yeah, that was a lot of pounding and the brilliance of Steedman there. So we thought. I mean, I thought he could coach. I didn't know he was really that bad until people really started pointing it out.
Mm-hmm. A lot of those black quarterbacks, and they're right, Braxton Miller.
Mm-hmm.
They look at those guys, man, and they see that they're athletes. So they automatically start trying to look at their deficiencies as a quarterback and where else they can be useful on the field. That's almost instantaneous.
Derek Mason. That's right.
That's it.
Derek Mason. I remember Derek Mason.
Mm-hmm. And that's all of them. Yeah, Braxton played ball at Ohio State. But instead of giving those guys a chance to develop, they automatically say, well, we can probably use you here or there. And they don't give them a chance. They really just don't. Same thing like Cardale Jones. He never got the chance to develop into what he could be. Like those guys played ball, man. They was balling.
I really had high hopes for Cardale Jones. And it's one of those situations where he really should have came out a year early.
Yeah.
Like when he was hot, he should have came out a year early. Because I think he would have gotten a shot. And I hope Dwayne Haskins don't turn into Cardale. Cardale really didn't get a chance to start. He had a spot start here or there. He came in, but I thought that if given a chance, he would have been pretty good. Dennis Dixon too. I remember Dennis Dixon.
Dennis Dixon was nice at Oregon.
Yep, he never got a
Dennis
shot.
Dixon was nice. I like. I think it's PJ Daniels was at South Florida. I don't know if you remember him, but he was good too.
There was a guy at Houston that was lighting it up. Oh man, he was. Let me see. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Greg.
Yep.
Greg Ward.
Greg Ward. Yep.
He's a wide receiver now in Philly. As a matter of fact, I think he's the number one receiver in Philly right now.
That's crazy.
Greg Ward Jr. Sure is.
The guy, I thought, man, honestly, I thought Byron Leftwich was gonna be all right. I didn't
Yeah, I
see
did
him
too.
star or anything, but because is he the one that got hurt and they had to carry him down the field?
Yeah, that was Byron Leftwich.
Yeah, man, I thought he had a chance to at least be a starter. Well, I mean, he did start. He did start. So he got his shot, but he went to the goddamn Jets, and you know
Who's the other Ohio State quarterback? Jake. He played in he was with the Saints for a while as a backup. Dang, what was his name? Him and Cardell was there at the same time. It was 3 quarterbacks that were all black. Who were the 3 quarterbacks? He
no,
actually ended up starting. What was his name? Oh, they stopped him. They stopped him short.
damn, I know what you're talking about. Because he kept because the reason why oh yeah, Gerard. I remember Gerard. David Gerard. Yeah, I
David
remember
Garrard,
him.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he was decent. Oh, they going for it.
Ohio State had 3 quarterbacks, first, second, and third string. JT Barrett.
Yep, JT Barrett.
That was the other one. It was Braxton Miller, JT Barrett, and Cardell Jones. They were all there at the same time.
There was who was the black guy that was at Georgia? Now he really was just an athlete, but he
DJ
played.
Shockley?
Yeah, DJ Shockley.
DJ Shockley.
Yep, they loved him in Georgia, boy. Georgia
We had
loved him some DJ Shockley.
They did. We had Quincy Carter on the show. If y'all ain't seen that episode, go back and check it out.
Yep, Geno Smith.
Geno's still in the league. Now, Geno, I don't feel sorry for Geno at all because Geno has had a million shots.
Yep, he has.
He's one that he can't complain about how he's been treated in the league.
Yep, he has. Nah, he can't say shit.
JT Daniels. I thought it was JP Daniels, but JT Daniels is what his name is. Daniels, Mac Miller, that was my guy. Georgia got a black quarterback now. He didn't play good Saturday, but that's a monster. He's a big kid.
Who?
What is that guy's name at Georgia right now? Well, they had Jamie Newman went from Wake Forest. Jamie Newman was good. That's a quarterback. He set out the year because of COVID to prepare for the NFL draft, but he's like the 6th rated quarterback this year. Jamie Newman is going to be a good football player. I don't know if y'all saw him last year. Yeah, at Wake Forest, that boy can play.
Man, I remember Aaron Brooks. So Aaron Brooks was also one, man. Not having a lot of black quarterbacks to watch back then. Man, Aaron Brooks was fun. And he won games. He also helped turn New Orleans around when he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to play with him on Madden.
Yes.
Brooks, man.
DeJuan Mathis is his name. Georgia got a freshman, DeJuan Mathis. He didn't look good Saturday, but you can tell he fits the quarterback profile. He's gonna be pretty good.
I'm gonna have to check.
I remember watching. So they mentioned Deshaun Watson. What's crazy is I remember the first couple games that year, he wasn't starting at quarterback his first year at Clemson. I think he was a sophomore or second year. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, when Deshaun Watson got on the field, he's playing in garbage time. But this dude, the quarterback's name was Stroud that was starting. I can't remember his first name, but white kid. He was like a senior that year. And for the first 2 or 3 games, Deshaun Watson was his backup. And I'm talking about this dude to come in and was throwing 80-yard touchdowns. And he was making a play at the end of the game every game. You know, those first early games were cupcake games. And I'm like, this dude need to be playing, man. Like, there's no reason to have this kid on the bench. He's too good. And lo and behold, he was struggling in the game. The whatever the starting quarterback's name was struggling. And this guy, and they put Deshaun in, and it was downhill from there. Yeah, Pat White. They mentioned Pat White. I know I'm moving fast, but Pat White was one of my favorites. Yeah, Pat White was dope. EJ Manuel was a disappointment.
Man, what he happened, man?
Yeah, I was mad at him. But some of those guys, they were set up to fail, man. He was set up to fail. He went to a place where he couldn't.
Taj Boyd. I remember Taj Boyd.
Taj Boyd was one of my favorite quarterbacks at Clemson. That was one of my favorite players. You know who one of the first black quarterbacks was? I don't know if you remember, but way back when, at Cole Strout was his name, yes. At West Virginia, they had Major Harris. You remember Major Harris?
Mm-hmm.
Major Harris was one of the first black quarterbacks. Also, all those Oklahoma quarterbacks back then, Holloway, they had a bunch of them in a row running the wishbone. Tommy Frazier he was at Nebraska, but Tommy Frazier was dope. We got to do a show on that. But my favorite black quarterback of all time was Charlie Ward.
Charlie Ward, yeah, I remember him too. And went to the Knicks. Had a decent, pretty good NBA career.
He really did. He had a solid NBA career, which
Mm-hmm.
was surprising. But that's it. There go Edwards. Edwards going to do that for you. That's who they need to be playing right now. That's who they need to give the ball to. Yeah, Charlie Ward was that guy. That team with him and Sam Cassell and Bob Sewell,
Mm-hmm.
that was some good basketball back then. Jason Campbell was okay. Doug Williams was the man.
Yeah, Jason Campbell was. I guess maybe I feel like okay is too kind.
Yeah.
It felt like he should have been better than what he was. That was Jason Campbell was a disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like he should have been better, but he just never was. And I found myself always like rooting for him to do well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes, Tommy Frazier did run all over Ray Lewis and Warren Sapp in that Orange Bowl. Tommy Frazier was amazing. We will talk about Doc Rivers getting fired tomorrow, Marshmallow, on the regular show. This is just a Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City special. But we're going to talk about Doc tomorrow.
Campbell never had an O-line. I mean, I don't remember the details back then, so I'm gonna go with what you said. But yeah, man, it was just, man, we needed more. And growing up, as a black kid, teenager, young adult, you just found yourself just in that mindset constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a blessing for you guys to have. Oh, Josh Freeman, my God.
Yeah, Josh Freeman. That I hated that, man. I just really wish he could have got a better shake than what he did.
Yep, I did too.
Because he was nice, man. Josh Freeman was nice.
Yeah, he never really got a chance either. And a lot of these college teams weren't really giving these guys, opportunities like they are now. Like Haskins getting a shot. It's up to Haskins to make something of it, but he's getting a shot. And, we already see Patrick Lamar, and we got Kyler and Deshaun Watson and all the other stuff. So and we still got Tyrod Taylor who's hanging on. So
yeah.
But Brett Hundley, man. But Brett Hundley, I think as a backup was good. I don't think I expected him to be like a starter, because he was, even in college, I didn't think he was all that good.
Yeah, he was decent. What about Brissett?
Jacoby, I like Jacoby, man. I think as a above average quarterback, I think he's good. He's a guy that'll get you to the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel, and when he was healthy, I mean, he was winning last year. That team got hurt. He got hurt, and he wasn't the same when he came back. But yeah, I like him. I think. I mean, I got to give. If it wasn't Belichick, I don't think he would have gotten the opportunities he got. But he's definitely a good bridge starter or a backup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Matt Nav. I don't know why Matt Nav gets the hate that he does now. Matt Nav. I'll never forget. I probably said every time we bring up Matt Nav, but this dude scored 4 touchdowns on a broken foot.
Yes.
I'll never forget that.
Yes.
So Matt Nav was good, man. He had a nice run. I mean, he went to 5-6 straight NFC championships, and finally got to the Super Bowl when they got Terrell Terrell Owens.
Owens, yeah.
I mean, this dude was. I mean, he had nobody at the receiving core.
I don't think Tyler Huntley was good. I don't know if y'all saw him last year, but he was with the touchdown Ravens. No, that wasn't your tight end. That was Boyle. But Tyler Huntley played with Utah, and he's actually on this team. Oh yeah, Seneca Wallace. Seneca Wallace was nice, and he kept a job. We did forget about Dante Culpepper. And I don't know how we forgetting Kaepernick. We didn't mention Kaepernick at all, of course.
We haven't, but football is a funny sport, man. Like you go from being blasted to down by one score.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like and him taking those 3 points was smart.
It was. Well, he had no choice because it was 4th and 6 at that point. And you wasn't gonna get no 4th and 6. You ain't converted all night. There's no way for you to convert that.
Right.
Yeah, Allen Iverson was a QB in high school and supposedly a better quarterback than he was basketball player.
But all off a turnover, man. A turnover, and you kind of chip away, and now here they are. We're in the 4th quarter matchup, and you think about the missed field goal too at the end of the half as well. So it could have been 30, and we could be on looking at a different game. But 5 NFC championships. Yeah, McNabb really deserves a lot more respect. But Marty, man, Dante Culpepper, man, they don't mention his name enough. Dante Culpepper. Yeah. Man, when he had Randy Moss, Chris Carter, they're like the fact that they even lost that Super Bowl, man.
Yeah.
No, they didn't even go to the Super Bowl. They got blasted by the fucking Falcons. The Falcons
beat them. Yes, they did.
And then got their ass whooped in the Super Bowl.
Yes, that's true.
The Dirty Bird era, man. But man, like that, man. And Robert Smith. Man. Culpepper, Randy Moss, Chris Carter. Just go look at highlights if y'all didn't see it.
Yeah, you couldn't stop them. You couldn't stop them boys, man.
Special. The greatest, like they weren't called the greatest show on turf, but man, Randy.
That was the Rams, and they were. I couldn't stand the Rams, but they was doing it. Yeah, Blueface was a beast in high school. Blueface was a quarterback.
And always shout out Randall Cunningham, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and again, he's one of those guys that I played with on the game because he was a black quarterback. Warren Moon was that dude, man.
Yes. Bryce Perkins is a backup. Bryce Perkins is from Virginia. He's a backup with the Rams. He was nice in Virginia. Of course, he didn't get much press, but he was a good quarterback. And Virginia Tech had a black quarterback. Well, they got a black quarterback this year too, I think. But last year they had a black quarterback. I don't know what happened to him.
Eric V. So really, Jim Harbaugh, the OC, called a very, very horrible game in the first half. It was very conservative, and they were just I don't know. I don't know what they were doing. I would love to hear what Harbaugh has to say should they lose this game or win it about that first half, because they need to be asked about that. But defense got it back in it.
Yeah, they did. They made a couple of timely plays to stop on 4th down that they needed to make, and they got the turnover is really what changed the tide. They created the turnover when Kansas City was driving, and Eric Bieniemy is tripping right now. He mad at them. He fussing right now. But it's this last 3. It looks like missed field goal, a fumble, turnover, and then they gave up the failed 4th down conversion. The defense is playing better for Baltimore, and the offense they started to run the ball. So that's what changed things in that in the second half.
It's kind of funny. I'm laughing because once things started going bad, then they started talking about Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, you see the camera right on him.
Yep.
Tagallo, I skipped Marcus Vick on purpose. Marcus Vick was a huge disappointment. I think that he was, riding off his brother's coattails instead of building his own mark. But yes, Virginia Tech done had a black quarterback since I can remember. Devin Gardner at Michigan was really nice.
I don't remember him. Is he playing now or he played there?
No, he didn't make it. Devin Gardner. What's the other black quarterback at Michigan name? Didn't tie his shoes. It was two of them. They had two black quarterbacks. Devin Gardner wore number 98 for a little while at quarterback, which is crazy. Why did he wear number 98?
Well, that's probably why he didn't make it. Denard Robinson?
Yeah, Robinson. Yeah, that's who it is.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was solid. He was solid.
Mm-hmm.
A good solid college quarterback.
He was.
They're killing him with this running back out of the Solera. That's, 100 yards rush receiving? He on my team, too, so I'll take it.
Yeah. You got a great team. You can't blitz him, but you can't sit back. Ain't really nothing you can do. Just hope you can generate enough pass rush and keep them in front of you.
Shea Patterson? Shea Patterson is trash.
Oh,
he's not trash. But, yeah, he's not trash, but they definitely hyped him up to be something he's not. He's just not impressive.
Mm-mm.
Rich Rod.
Got him.
Yeah, he was white, but I'm still gonna comment on him because they used to hide him up. Hey man, did the name Shay fool you? Because he did Shay.
That's what it was.
A guy went to high school. His name was Shay. Would I trade Josh Jacobs and Odell for Aaron Jones and T.Y.? So Josh and Aaron are pretty much a push. Mm-hmm. Really, you're looking at what you expect to get from Odell versus Hilton. So, hey, White House, at least you're honest. Hey, look, if I didn't know, man, I saw Shea Patterson, I probably would have thought he was black too. But
yeah.
But yeah, I think what you would want to do in that trade is to look at T.Y. and Odell. Odell, I will say, came out and said that he don't expect to have a big year this year. Now, when your receiver come out and say, "Hey, look, I'm just not going to have the numbers I'm used to, but that's okay as long as we win it," there's a problem. Something going on. For Odell has an ego. Odell want to make catches. And when he came out and said that, I'm like, oh, man, somebody had to talk with him, and he just know what's up. You don't say that for no reason.
Hey, this is
T.Y. Where's T.Y.? Is still in Indy with Phillip Rivers?
Yeah, he is, but he can't stay healthy. That would be the only reason I wouldn't make this trade. Yeah, Aaron Jones, the same thing. He'll have a fluke injury every now and again. He's having a great year, though.
He's going to have a great year. He's going to have probably a better year. I mean, Josh Jacobs is your traditional Raiders Gruden running back. He's going to hand it off. He's going to pound it. He's going to get 25 carries a game. The thing about Aaron Jones is that he's going to get almost that many carries, but he's also going to catch the ball out of the backfield too. So he's a little bit more versatile, and he's a focal point of their offense as well.
Jeremiah Masoli, where did Masoli play? Was it Oregon?
Said he know Baker trash. That's funny. Yeah, I don't remember him. But he sounded like he Hawaiian or some shit. Masoli?
Yeah, I remember him. I just can't remember where he was at. I think he was at Oregon. But Tony Banks is a good call out. Tony Banks was pretty nice.
Yeah, I like Josh Jacobs, man. He's growing on me. I thought there was a little hype there, but yeah, I think he's gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's gonna be anything special. I think what you're gonna see with him is that it's kind of gonna be like that old school running back with him. Just he's just gonna get his carries and maybe 8 to 10 touchdowns, a game, and that's it. He's not gonna be Kamara or McCaffrey or you know Clyde out here. He just your old running backs. You give it to him and you just let him run.
Oh, speaking of Hamilton, you just said it. Joe Hamilton was one of my favorite black quarterbacks. Joe Hamilton and Woodrow Dantzler. Do y'all remember Joe Hamilton and Woodrow Dantzler? From Woodrow Dantzler was at Clemson. Joe Hamilton was at Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, yeah, I remember him. People love Joe Hamilton, man.
They love Joe. Both from South Carolina, by the way.
Oh, okay.
They're Carolina guys.
Man, this is a sign of a good team when they tighten the score and you just march down the field.
Right now, it was 3rd and 10, and there was no threat of no threat. Like they rushed him, they blitzed him, but it wasn't no threat. He just like walked to get the first down.
That's the one with the blitz up the middle. He got around the corner.
Joe Hamilton was definitely a monster. Look up Woodrow Dantzler, man. I'll look up some highlights on Woodrow Dantzler. And Joe Hamilton almost beat them by himself. You're right. Joe Hamilton was one that should have made it to the league and been nice. Yep, they tried to move Woodrow on Hard Knocks with the Cowboys to try to move him to wide receiver. Same thing, but he was an amazing quarterback at Clemson.
Yeah, I don't remember him.
Really? Man, please look up some Woodrow Dantzler highlights. I was just talking to I don't know if you remember what is his name? Clemson quarterback that played at San Diego. Charlie Whitehurst. I was talking to Charlie Whitehurst's dad.
Yeah.
I was talking to his dad recently, and we were talking about Woodrow Dantzler. He didn't have nothing but great things to say about him. He was like, man, that dude was nice. I was like, yeah, he was.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look him up.
Please look him up.
Yeah, I remember Trent Williams. Yeah, we talked about Cardell and JT Barrett and Braxton Miller. That's why I always fuck with Ohio State, man. Even now, they keep them some black quarterbacks. All right, so I'm gonna look up take a look some of those Clemson Georgia Tech games.
Please.
Yeah, well, it's a little too late now, Ravens. I think they can blitz him. They just gotta blitz him from certain spots. I don't think blitzing him up the middle is the right thing to do. They gotta kind of come off the edge. Hell
Oh, wow.
no.
You saw that throw?
No, I was talking about Mom was talking about telling the announcer to stop calling her son Pat. That's crazy, man. Like when you think about social media and how it really like shortens the world, it makes it that connected. hey man, I need God to get it. Like for her to be like, think about it. Back in the day, she wouldn't have been able to get that message to him until after the game, or probably never.
Right.
She just one tweet reaches him. That's I like that, man.
Yeah.
When it's used for the right reasons. Yeah, that's sidearm throw, man.
Oh wow. Oh wow. What can you do with that? Like when when your tackle is scoring touchdowns.
Man, that's 4 touchdowns for Pat. Here's what I don't understand. Do they not hear that these guys are eligible? And if you hear that they're eligible, you don't
Wouldn't you
think that
figure?
maybe, just maybe, that play might be designed for him? He's not eligible for no reason. See, Ray Lewis, that shit wouldn't have happened to Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis would have heard that shit over.
He'd have been looking for it.
Yep. Ray Lewis, man, I mean, you know this, man. On the field, he was on. That's why he gave Peyton Manning and Brady so much problems, because he was audible to their audibles.
Who's your favorite middle linebacker of all time?
Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence. Well, he was more of a, he wasn't a middle linebacker.
Damn.
Not your favorite linebacker, your favorite middle linebacker.
Was Derrick Brooks? He was an outside linebacker too. Damn.
Derrick Brooks was more inside.
If we go on with middle, this probably will be Ray.
Ray, mine is very, of course, I'm a Panthers fan, so I got Sam Mills, and then Luke. Luke made some awesome play calls.
Was he really that good?
Luke?
Yeah,
man. Luke was a tackling machine. He just couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, Derek was right outside, because I remember not Derek Brooks. Not
Derek
him.
Brooks was. Patrick Willis was Patrick Willis a middle linebacker? I think he was. Yeah, he was. Mike Singletary was who I was thinking about too.
Nah, my guy, man, was fucking Derek Thomas, man, who died. Rest in peace.
Yeah, Derek Thomas, yes.
Bro,
yeah,
Derek Thomas, just as a linebacker, was probably the second best thing to Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, he was.
Often overlooked. This dude was like, I think he had 7 sacks in the game. Man, he was a nightmare.
Yeah, he was something else. Harry Carson, shout out to Harry Carson, South Carolina State University. That's my school.
Yeah, Derrick Brooks was cool, but he wasn't Derek Thomas, man. So when I think about linebackers, Lawrence Taylor, Ray Lewis, Derek Thomas, like those are my top 3. There's some. And see, Bobby Wagner is nice. I don't know if he's on the level of the ones that I just remember, that I have an affection for, I should say that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he's good, but he's not good, but because he is good. I don't know if he's as good as the legends. I don't know. This fool got 4 touchdowns, man.
London Fletcher was nice too.
He was, yeah. And I think I think he had a slow developing career. Oh no. He did, because I think he just got better with age. But remember the guy that played in Washington? What was his name?
London Fletcher?
Nah. He was a linebacker. He was well known. Dark skin. He played with the Redskins.
Long, played at Penn State.
Yes.
LeVar.
Yeah, you're almost there. I had to look it up. I'm trying to get to it. LeVar.
Wasn't Miller? What was his name? Arrington. Yes, thank you, Junior.
Yeah, LeVar Arrington. Yeah, he was nice for a minute too. I liked him, but I thought that he was going to be like he had a nice career, but I thought at one point he was going to be up there with some of the guys that I like.
Yeah, LeVar wasn't that good, and he stayed hurt in the NFL.
Yeah, he never got there. Like he never got to where I thought he was gonna be. But yeah, the injuries definitely killed him. But yeah, but he had the name with him. It just never manifested itself.
So you're right. They brought Dobbins in, and now they opened it up a little bit.
Yeah, Junior Seau was good. Like, are they even trying to block? Now y'all got me looking up linebackers.
Ken Norton Jr. was good.
Oh, he had him. Is Fred Warner that good?
Who was that?
Fred Warner.
Who is that? I don't even know who that is.
I guess that's my answer. He plays. He plays with the Niners.
Yeah, I don't know him.
There are a couple of defenders that people talk about that are supposed to be good. The hell just happened there? Let me see. Packers evolved.
Jeremiah Trotter, yeah.
Oh yeah, Mike Singletary. Warner Nice, he's just young. Okay. Yeah, I've seen Darius. I think he's making a name for himself.
He
I
is
just
South Carolina,
yeah.
South Carolina State University as well. You know, I'm shout out my school. What'd you say, though, Ken?
No, I was just saying I don't yeah, Dobbins is making a difference. He's just more versatile, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't watch it the way I used to. I would know all the guys. I would be able to see them, but I used to sit all day Saturday and Sunday, wings, Chinese food, fries, and watch football. All right, finally they doing something with Lamar. This is might be a little too late.
Yeah.
Man, they blitzing the hell out of him. Look at Andrews finally caught some shit. Yeah, they could probably hit Andrews if he sneaks out. Jesus Christ. he was looking for a blitz, and the pressure came from the outside.
Mm-hmm. So they're doing the right thing. Like the pressure is coming from both sides. So
Yep.
he can't get out and do his thing out there.
Yeah, it was a contain. Looks like it was a contain on that one. And he
Yep,
probably and when they
did the
switched
same.
up, yep, and when they went to like a zone, he just wasn't ready.
They did the same thing again. They're coming hard on the outside, and by the time he tried to cut up, Ryan Shazier was gonna be nice. By the time he tries to cut it up, it's too late. So they blitzed him, they sacked him back-to-back plays. And he has no idea where the pressure's coming from.
You know what, man? I'm blaming Harbaugh. Again. Let me look at this play. Damn, there really is nowhere to go with the ball. But you got to call a different play. You got to give him some options. They're not giving him options. Like if they've been blitzing and blitzing and blitzing, have a hot read or somebody to be able to get the ball out quick to. Because this game right here, and that was just a bad throw. Who the fuck is Miles Boykin?
I don't know. He played at Notre Dame.
This is a bad throw. Bad throw. Did all that work for nothing. Off 2 damn blitzes. Yeah, Antonio Pierce. Yeah, he had a nice run. I remember Lance Briggs. Yeah, get Miles Boykin's ass out of here. Get Willie Snead out of here. And move Hollywood Brown to like the slot or some shit. Go get some damn receivers. Yeah, get AB, man. Like AB did. I don't know, man. I don't know about AB. I don't know, man. I'm not that much of a Ravens fan or Lamar fan.
I would like to see the Cardinals play against the Chiefs.
At one point, though, Tigolo, they were not trash. When they had shit. Starts with an A. Shit.
Who? I don't know who they had since, like they said, since Super Bowl run.
Oh, Anquan Bolden.
Anquan Bolden.
Yep, that was the guy. That was the name.
That was another good black quarterback as well in college. He played at Florida State quarterback.
Really?
Yes. Anquan Bolden was.
I knew that.
He was a nice quarterback at Florida State. Bolden switched to receiver when he got to the league.
Man, I did not know that. That's crazy.
Look him up. You can look him up and see some of his games too.
Yep, they had Anquan Bolden. I'm looking it up now, and Derek Mason, who was on the tail end of his career.
Antoine Randall, yes. Antoine Randall was a quarterback as well.
Mm-hmm.
All those guys were quarterbacks switched to wide receivers.
I mean, look, guys. I get AB will be a great fit for this team, and I think based on you're saying that he knows Lamar and Hollywood his cousin, I think that chemistry, that sort of unity that they would have, that bond, could go a long way, and it would give him another option. And I think that will be, Steve Smith, be helpful for him. But at the same time, they just the first half is where I'm pinning this loss on. Because they just didn't play well and it wasn't a good game plan, and they gotta use the receivers that they have. So, but AB would solve a lot of problems, and you're right, the receivers would respect it. And I don't think that he would have a lot of off the field issues. I think that I would like to believe the lesson has been learned from him.
Yeah, that's game. It's a wrap. Jeremy Maclin, yeah, he was pretty good. Yeah, Steve Smith was awesome with the Ravens. I don't know what the Panthers were thinking about letting Steve Smith go, other than his attitude, but I think we could have dealt with that.
They have. I mean, there was a blown Marsha Yanda. Who is that? There was a blown cut. The secondary got mixed up on one of those touchdowns. So that's 7 points. So I think even with how poorly they played, it still became a one-score game late. And the defense didn't get the stop they needed. Patrick Mahomes was obviously just great and did what he needed to do. That's what great teams do. Lamar missed some throws. He misread some blitzes. So they just didn't play well. He didn't play good enough. And when you're playing a team like this, you got to be great. It's just that simple. You just got to be great. But yeah, somebody said it. They probably will kill Lamar all week until the next game.
Yeah.
But and then I think he was I think now he's 0-3 against Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like that sometime. In all honesty, though, if you really think about it, if you win a Super Bowl, doesn't even matter. Like, what if somebody else put out Patrick, or you beat him in the playoffs? Because we saw that with Brady and Manning,
Mm-hmm.
and Manning just needed to get him in the playoffs. He finally got him once or twice, and then handled his business from there.
The only thing I can say is now, after watching this game, there's a clear difference between the two as far as where they are in their careers right now. Patrick, even though Lamar Jackson was the MVP, Patrick Mahomes is still ahead of him. And part of that is coaching, but a big part is just he's just more developed right now, and he's making it happen.
Yeah, I just, man, I mean, watching this game, like, and this is what, Lamar's third year.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in the third year, they shouldn't be handicapping him as much as they are. It just feels like they don't fully trust him yet. And I'm not in the practices, so I don't see how these throws are going, but I believe they can give him more responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And than what they've given him, and just instead of running him, because that helped Vic.
Right.
And you knew that he was a threat to throw the ball, and when he threw it, a lot. Like, you got to loosen these guys up. Because what Lamar does best is counter to what Patrick does best. Patrick's style is more conducive to winning football games than Lamar over a longer period of time and definitely over a football game.
Mm-hmm. And he can come back to it. That's another thing.
Yep.
When they need points, he can put up points. Now I'm shocked that I really thought they was on their way to scoring 50 points this game. So I'm shocked they only got 34 points.
Well, we got to give credit to the Ravens for that. I think they had I think the time of possession was a little bit more in their favor in the second half because they had sustained drives, so that ate up some time off the clock. The missed field goal and shit like that. But Marshmallow's right. You think about the drop that Andrews had. He had like two. One they had to settle for a field goal. And the O-line has been getting killed. And and Brown missed some passes. So, and Willie, I'm telling y'all, Willie Snead does not need to play anymore. He is no better than, I don't even know who this Boykins kid is, but he got to be better than Snead.
I think Willie, let me see how he's done this year. Oh yeah, nothing. Not one thing.
I know
2 receptions for 29 yards.
Get him out of there. Fourth receiver at best. Maybe bring him in to release somebody. Develop these young receivers.
Yeah, this game to me looked like it was more Chiefs on the field, and it looked like it's more than 11 players on the field. This whole game on offense and defense. Like, did they play with 15 or something? Because it just looked like it was too many of them out there. It really looked like it in this game.
Greg Roman is the OC? Oh, Jesus Christ. Go find some of these young cats, man.
Yeah. That's why I'm proud of Carolina, because Carolina went and got Brady from LSU, Joe Brady, and he called a heck of a game yesterday. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, but I kind of felt they would win without Christian McCaffrey. They just relied on him too heavy.
Yeah. Yes, I forgot about Devernay. So you're right. So, and I know Boykin ain't all that, but he got to be better than damn Willie Snead. That's all I'm saying. So my thing is Brown, Devernay, Boykin in the slot. That way he don't have to be on the field all the time, and develop these dudes, man.
Yeah, Robbie Anderson would have been nice with Baltimore. He's making some plays in Carolina. I think Matt Rule is to be determined. Once again, the Panthers, just like most of the other teams, like the Cowboys as well, they look like the same team as last year, a couple of these games. But that game Sunday, like I said, when you lose a star and it calls you to adjust and start doing things a little different, I think losing McCaffrey was the best thing that could have happened to Carolina at the time. And that sounds crazy because of how good he is, but it just really made him spread the ball around. It made him throw the ball downfield with Teddy, and it made them use players. So we'll see what Matt Rule can do going forward. I like to give him at least a full season under his belt, but I think he'll be okay. I don't think he was worth what they signed him for. I don't think what they gave some stupid deal, but I don't see that. But I think Matt Rule will be okay.
He better be up there giving him a 7-year contract.
7 years. That's a lot. Yeah, the Panthers defense did make some plays, and they're the types that would get on the roll based off the fact that they did make those plays. I think it did help that they were playing a rookie quarterback more than anything else, because the DBs, we got some decent young DBs. Chin, that rookie, he make plays all over the field. He is nice. I'm really, really, really impressed with him. I can't think his first name, but his last name is Chin. He's number 21 for the Panthers this year. Second round pick out of Southern Illinois or somewhere like that. But that kid gonna be nice. Nice young safety. And Brian Burns is nice. He's a nice player. and he'll get better with seasoning a little bit more weight.
Damn, this dude has 97 yards passing, y'all.
97 yards passing. He probably got more rushing yards than that.
84 yards rushing.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's like college numbers.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Jim Harbaugh. Let this man loose. Let him loose. Live with it.
Yeah, this is embarrassing.
Somebody need to ask him, when is he going to let Lamar Jackson loose? That's what they like. They handicapping it. I'm calling it now. I'm saying it, man. I'm not gonna kill Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna kill the coaching. I'm killing the coaching. This is unacceptable. The Ravens coaches play scared all game long.
Mm-hmm.
Well, mostly in their first half. They play scared.
Yeah, this looks like a game where they can't. It's almost like when you have those teams that play those. Once again, I compare it to college football, where you got like that 1A school playing against the big school.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I got to try to do. Let me try to see if this will work. They came into this game not prepared and not confident. It was like they felt like, to me, it just felt like they didn't have a chance, and like they didn't think they had a chance.
I definitely agree with you with the not confident part. Yep, and you can see that in the play call. It was all in the play call. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they ain't even trying. They just
Right.
need the ball. What kind of shit is that? If I'm Lamar, I'm like, man, I'm at least getting 100. Y'all
Right.
not gonna do me like this.
Mm-hmm. It's like we just got to keep it close. We just got to, instead of saying, in which I started saying it later, like we got to control the ball, meaning them. They got to control the ball in this first half. If they had done a better job of running the ball in the first half, they probably should have went to Gus Edwards earlier and tried to run the ball a little bit. Then maybe it would have been I ain't gonna say it'd have been a different outcome, but it would have looked a little bit better than this. But this was not a good looking football game. This did not look like a matchup of the top two teams in the league. You know what I'm saying? And that's what
Not
I
at
thought
all.
they were.
Not at all.
So after seeing this, Ken, to you, who's the number 2 team in the league right now?
Kansas City.
Well, who's number 1 then?
Seattle.
Whew.
Man, Seattle versus Patrick Mahomes, with the way Russ playing right now, you will be in for one hell of a football game.
Yeah, we got to talk about that tomorrow too. But I think Russell Wilson is playing better. But I just think overall, I think that Kansas City is number 1. I think Kansas City has to be the top ranked team. The way they just did them boys, because Russell is impressive. Don't get me wrong, but they beat Dallas in the last drive. They didn't win that game convincingly, even though they had it was a great game. Russell won that game. And who did they play the week before? Same thing against the Patriots. The Patriots was in that game. Patriots should have won that game. It came down to the last play. Now, don't get me wrong, it was a good game, but the Patriots had Russ them beat if Cam had scored on that 1-yard run. So in saying that, I can't say that Seattle is the number 1 team in the league. I think they would be the second best team in the league right now.
Man, you sleeping on Seattle. Let me see. Let me look at this schedule. Who did Kansas City beat? Because Kansas City ain't looked all that impressive.
Kansas City beat they beat the Chargers the first. I think that was
they beat the Chargers, and they had to beat them in OT. And
Yeah,
they
they
beat the
weren't.
Texans, who are 0-3. Come on, man.
Who else
We
did they
take an
beat?
argument for both sides. I think the Seattle probably played a tougher opponents.
Who was the second team that you said
They
who was the
played.
team?
They opened the season with the Texans. They beat the shit out of them. Same score that they beat the Ravens with. And then, of course, you already mentioned the Chargers, and now they beat the Ravens. So they beat a rookie, and they beat a terrible coach with the team that got rid of their best receiver. And now, boy, I didn't watch the game, but he said Herbert threw away the game. They should have lost that because they were trailing that whole game.
Yeah, they were trailing that game.
So
Pat would, Mr. T says Pat would give Seattle 50.
I'll take your word for it if their defensive play, because I think they let Dallas score 30. So it would be a shootout. I'm not saying that they would slow them down. And I think to beat Patrick, you got to be able to put numbers on the board. And Seattle can do that.
That's it. And that's where I think it would hurt. I think that like I said, that defense, they got enough to where they're not gonna shut Russ down like they just did Lamar Jackson at all. But I think they have enough to where they're gonna put more points. They'll be able to outscore Russ. That's all I'm thinking.
Yeah, Whitehouse said Green Bay is second. I haven't seen much of Green Bay, so I can't say, but
Green Bay is tough. Seattle just don't. I think Seattle just don't have enough outside of Russell.
I don't know.
We got to rank our teams tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah, we will. Something else somebody mentioned I wanted to bring up. Are the Ravens even better than Buffalo and New England? No. And you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, man. I think the Ravens are overhyped. I think they're overhyped. I think Lamar Jackson is so great and so electric that they really think this team is better than what they actually are. And that's what somebody said. They was like, this game reminds them of the playoff game versus the Titans. And I'm gonna excuse the first playoff loss because I think that was his first one. But you're absolutely right. Against good teams, they struggle to generate enough passing offense to make the running offense work, or vice versa. Maybe they can't run the ball in order to get the passing work. But either way it goes, like when you're playing what will be playoff teams, if this is what you are, then you're just a junior varsity team beating up on poor opponents.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Ravens are overhyped, man. I think they're overhyped. I think they're really all Lamar Jackson.
That's what it seems like. It really does seem like it. Like he makes some electrifying plays. He'll make some plays, and you know, it's tough to defend him in most cases. But Kansas City had the right game plan on both sides of the ball tonight because they were coming from the outside and looked like they had a spy. So he really had nowhere to run to. He couldn't break it outside like he normally would, and nobody to throw to. Those guys were not getting open.
Tigolo, Cowherd didn't say they were going 16-0. He said they had 16-0 height, or are you saying he predicted they would go 16-0? First of all, you can't listen to anything that Cowherd says. He is historically wrong about a lot of shit. And then he comes up with weird kind of ways to make it seem like to cover up the reason why he was wrong. Look at Sammy Darnold. But nevertheless, but yeah, I don't know why like nobody goes 16-0 except the Patriots that year, and even they got defeated. So
yeah, and I really thought my Panthers were. I really did. T.L.O. Kane, you're right. The run game ain't clicking. But what's funny is I think a lot of these teams, they really haven't settled the running back position on like even Tampa Bay, for example, with you got LaShawn McCoy, you got Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. They don't know what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these teams it's not a bad thing to have too many running backs, but it's a bad thing when you can't establish a rhythm with these players. So it's like we don't have when I say we, I'm talking about any of these teams. Some of these teams don't have a set system as to how they want to run it. You need to have a clear-cut number one, in my opinion, with a number two that's not far behind. You looking, the Lions with all their running backs. A lot of these teams got a lot of running backs, but I think the Rams are doing a good job of balancing their two-headed monster. They got three as well, but one is out hurt. But these two guys that they're running now are Kelly and Henderson, I think it is. They're doing a good job balancing their run of the tap. Neither one of them are explosive, but they're playing them at the right times. You know what I'm saying? And they're finding that guy and they're sticking with the hot hand. And that's what you really got to do.
Yeah, Kane, I said it earlier, man. They just need to let Dobbins play. He's shown that he can play at the NFL level. And you know, thunder and lightning, just do it that way. And I completely agree with Kelton. They need to make a decision at the running back position because this three running back committee shit ain't gonna work. So yeah, and look, this is why y'all can't listen. Like Cowherd tricks so many people into thinking he's right when he's constantly wrong. And he's clever in the way that he words stuff. 16-0, the nerve of him to say that's crazy. And what Cowherd would do is he would say something like that to use that to beat him up later. That's all that is. 16-0, but then they're gonna get in the playoffs and he's gonna lose and then he's gonna trash the dude. Like yeah. You can't listen to anything that dude said. He's wrong a lot.
They're asking which is worse, ESPN and FS1, worst group of sports analyst, Junior Silk. I think it's they're all equally the same. They're entertaining to watch, but as far as their knowledge and what you're getting bang for your buck, it ain't there. It's really on either side.
So the best one when he was there was First Thing First with Chris Carter and Nick Wright. I thought they made a great combo. I like Nick Wright. I think, you know, he's very fair. He has a LeBron bias, of course, but when Chris Carter was there, it was a great show. Kevin Wild's trash. Brandon Marshall's cool, but they're not anywhere near Nick Wright, and you need Chris Carter to be able to go toe-to-toe with Nick Wright. I'm going to save some of this for tomorrow because I got issues with Shay, Uncle Shay, as y'all like to call him. Skip has made a career off of a black man by talking shit about a black man. Max is a bandwagon jumper. He jumps and he uses faulty logic to support it, and he thinks he's smarter than everybody else and able to talk circles around them to convince the reasons why. But Stephen A is cool, but he's a centrist, so he's gonna play the middle of the field.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got words for Skip though. I'm starting to see him for who he is, and we can no longer let Skip get away with the shit he's doing, and we don't need Shannon to get up there to counter it by being a fool in doing so, and that's the problem because nobody's gonna take him serious because he up there wearing fucking goat mask and drinking and smoking cigars and drinking liquor. So I'll just save it for tomorrow. I'm gonna just leave it right there.
That's true. You're absolutely right. DC, you're right too. Kendrick Perkins needs to be off television. I don't even know.
Oh my god. He just don't need to talk anymore. He just need to be a fucking mime. That's what he needs to do. He don't need to. Oh my god, he gets on my fucking nerves. I can't stand. I skip him.
Yeah,
I don't even watch the show live.
No matter what is coming out of his mouth is awful. Hey, Tigalo, I watch Andy Griffith reruns, so I'd rather watch them too. But that's true. And Max, to me, man, Max seems like he's trying to be like Skip, and he's trying to counter. He's trying to throw something out there to throw everybody off. It's like almost an attempt that you can feel like I'm trying to say something that'll be off from what everybody else would say, instead of being genuine in how he feels. I don't think he's always talking about how he feels. He just has to be the naysayer or go against something. It has to be like a give and take with Stephen A. I think that's what he's trying to do more than anything else, just to be Skip light, so to speak.
Yeah, Ryan Hollins is the absolute worst. Buck dancing. Yeah, you kind of spot on with that White House. But yeah, yeah, Will Kane's gone anyway. But yeah, you're right. You're right, Shelton, with Max, because you come on television and you say that Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the league because he beat a team that didn't have KD and Clay. And your logic is because LeBron got hurt and wasn't in the playoffs to prove it. You also switched to Kawhi after you was touting Giannis the whole year. And the reason why I just wanted Stephen A to just ask, like, and why that logic was so flawed, because he's basically saying whoever wins the title is the best player of the year, is the best player in the NBA. And that's why that logic is flawed, because now you're going to say for instance, Jimmy Butler win the title. Everybody knows Jimmy Butler is not the best player in the NBA.
Right.
But if he wins the title, based on Max's logic, he would be. And nobody ever asked him that one simple question. He would have shut down everything. But nevertheless, here we are. So that shit's annoying me, and he's doing something else. Oh, yeah. He jumps on anybody that's good. Patrick Mahomes, he's all over his dick. Who else is he hyping up? Daniel Jones, Barkley, all these dudes, man. Anybody that's good, he jump on their dick. He just don't even really look at the fucking games and evaluate the shit. Smart for his own good. So, yeah.
Yes, Marshmallow, I agree with you. Giannis did deserve the MVP.
No, he did not.
It's a regular season award. It's not a regular season combined with playoff award. If that's the case, then no. But because it's a regular season award, he deserved it. And that's true. Max Kellerman is a boxing genius trying to talk basketball.
Yeah, he is. And he's working his way through it, but it's just you can't. I don't know. But Marcellus Wiley, oh my God, he should never be on TV.
Hey, you know what else about that show that I noticed this morning? Really quick, is Molly is always trying to scream her opinion in there too. So she's really trying hard to be heard, and it's an annoying sound in the background because she keeps screaming out what she's trying to say, and they need to have it to where it's just a little bit more flow. I just can't stand that. I'm like, let that point die because they're not hearing you right now.
It was worse when they weren't in the studio together. I think it would be okay if they let her talk.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's not what she's saying is wrong because she's making good points. It's just they're not letting her get it in, and her screaming it over them. It ain't working. It's it's clumsy.
Yep.
And it's more them not letting her get her point out. But
yep, because they don't she knows her role is a host, so they should give her the space, the room, like you said, to say what she needs to say, and then respond and get back to the debate, and then that's it. So I totally agree with you because it is very annoying when it happens because they be talking over her, and I think they talk over her on purpose to prove a point. It's like you shouldn't be talking right now, but it also comes across very disrespectful and to a certain degree sexist.
It is.
Yeah.
And she makes good points. Don't get me wrong. What she's saying, she's speaking facts in what she's talking about when she's talking. Because I rewound it today and watched it a couple times. I said, I try to do my homework, the fact that we have the show. And I kept rewinding that part. Like, they do this all the time. And this is terrible. It's like she's trying to get them. It's like she's trying to push them to do things. And they're not listening. Like, they're not paying attention. And you're right. It was like that before the pandemic, though. They were doing that before. She's like, guys, we gotta. And it's like, it's not really, I don't know. They should have somebody holding up some cards like, okay, we got to move on or something like that to help them out. But I don't know. It just looks clumsy sometimes when they do that show.
Yeah, I don't like it. But yeah, Marcellus Wiley is trash. to come out and say white privilege don't exist, trash. I don't
Yeah.
I don't even give a fuck if that is his opinion. It's a trash fucking opinion. That's what it is. So
yeah. Marcellus Wallace says a lot of things lately that I just kind of look at him like, okay, and he's on another level.
I don't know if he, I don't listen to them enough. I think Undisputed was a terrible show. I had hope for Marcellus, but once Whitlock infected him, I think somebody said that, it was a wrap for him, because it's almost like we know Whitlock at times try to use the controversial points to get people to tune into his show. And I think Marcellus is trying to do that as well. Nobody watching that fucking show, bro. Like, nobody even, like, you rarely get, like, the only time people even mention you was when you said what you said. So it may not be that bad, 88, but it is that bad. Like, it's the bottom of shows. There's just nobody on there that's even entertaining. It all sounds forced. It doesn't sound natural. But yeah, we know Jason Whitlock ain't worth shit. As for Charles Barkley, you know what? I think Barkley is one of those guys where at this point, he is who he is. He says so many things. He believes them to his core. He just sees the world at times and differently. And and there are certain aspects of what he said that I don't necessarily even disagree with. It sounds like shit, and we didn't get a chance to really go into it on Is the Mic Still On, but when you really look at the facts of the case, it's fucked up. But based on the law, it was to be expected. They had it out. So, but what Charles did was he didn't show empathy at a time where people needed the empathy. And that was it. So, and that was the problem that people have, that I think he should have showed more empathy at that time. But yeah, it just, you can't save everybody, man. You're not going to convince Barkley otherwise. He just is who he is at this point.
That is true.
Which is amazing, because he grew up he came from Alabama too.
Yeah. And I think I thought that out of all the sports shows or sports any type entities, Inside the NBA was always my favorite.
Yes.
It was always, it was always entertaining. They always gonna give you one takes. They're gonna talk about each other, and you got a professional opinion. And Ernie was always the ultimate host. Ernie was one of my favorite people of all time as far as blending in the talent. He's the master at that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was it bothered me a little bit, Charles talking like that. But you got the right to your opinion. You can think what you want to think. And for a second, I said I wasn't watching the show no more. But I'm probably gonna still watch, because I just like I like the show, and I like Kenny, and I love Ernie.
I don't know what they said in response to him, but I think when he says stuff like that, what helps is when you have voices like Kenny Smith and Shaq to kind of check him.
Yeah.
And hopefully they did check him, but I mean, he's not wrong, because him shooting at them is why they were able to get away with not charging the cops, because they were shot at and by the law able to return fire. So when I heard the case and heard what happened, I was like, oh, it's a wrap, because this black man shot at white cops. So I think that the community, the people covering this case, have to really look at the law that allowed them to get away with this legally. And that's the whole thing. They're legally able to get away with that. So they got to look at changing the law. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. And I think if he did not shoot first or return fire, I think he shot first, then
Right.
there's a stronger case to be made for him to be charged. But yeah, once that bullet was fired at them, it was a wrap, man. It was a wrap. So I think people got to be reasonable and figure out a way to attack and use that situation to get laws changed.
Correct. I agree, because
Yeah,
that's what's most.
I saw that, Danzo. So I do believe there's some cover up going on here. So there's a lot of stuff that we don't know. The New York Times said they had trouble really getting like a lot of information. The police report wasn't filled out. They turned their cameras off. They obviously lied about us a bunch of shit. So and really the ballistics would tell the story, and now they're saying the ballistics don't match here or there. So it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up.
Yeah, it is, to say the least. It's just a lot, man. And no matter what, we have to remember that, it's not going to bring her back. But we got to do what we got to do to prevent stuff like that from happening in the future.
Mister, I don't know. So I think because they had a no-knock warrant and because they were illegal, I think they were able to do it, man. I think that's the thing. Like, it was legal for them to do what they did. Mm-hmm. So it fucking sucks. But unfortunately, it's the law. So that's the thing that has to change. And I think they did get that change. I think no-knock warrants are no longer a thing. So so that's a plus at a terrible cost. So.
Junior Silk, not like I should be with baseball. The Braves are in the playoffs, though. Go Braves. We're going to see what happens. And I'm going to start paying more attention. I'll put it that way. I know Ronald Acuna had a pretty good season, but I haven't watched baseball like that. Have you, Ken?
Nah. I think I had my fantasy team because I'm in a keeper league, and that was it. Mr. T, I do agree with you, bro. But yeah, that was it. Like, I didn't follow it that much.
And me and Ken are the baseball people of the show, so that's pretty rough.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You know what, Figalo? The Dodgers do need to win. It would be nice to finally get that monkey off their back, because they got the worst luck ever. Worst luck ever. But what time is it? All right, y'all. I gotta head to the house. I gotta finish up some editing too, but I'll probably do that tomorrow. But yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out with us, man.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, Dennis Sports Primetime. So I know someone asked about whether or not we're gonna do the finals. So we do want to do some games. I know there's been some discussion there. So this was definitely kind of like a test run for us also. So yeah, I think that I got to look at the schedule, but yeah, I think we can somehow make that happen for a couple of games.
Yes, so, and if you're on right now still, please, man, invite somebody to watch the show tomorrow. We're trying to grow this program. So if you could, please invite somebody and have somebody on with you if you can. That would be greatly appreciated. Zoom
the finals from the crib. Yep. I'm with it. So yeah, we'll talk to the guys tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have an announcement tomorrow as well.
We do got a show. We do got a show for sure tomorrow.
Yep. 3 and 5 for sure. Yep. So, all right. Well, that's gonna do it for us. We'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Hey, Sebastian, if there is a game 5, go Miami. Peace.
Oh, man. Peace.